Konnichiwa minasan. Selamat datang diucapkan untuk anda yang mengikuti sesi ini secara langsung dan juga anda yang menonton setelah live stream ini berakhir ke sesi kolaborasi STOMACHOFCHAOS bersama laman pop culture suka ramai BUZZPOPTV. Ini actually kita punya first full live stream bedah, not counting the one that we had 2 weeks ago, which was basically a compilation of kita berbincang mengenai fenomenon sebuah siri anime iaitu Gundam, diikuti oleh season 1 Witch from Mercury. But anyway, seperti biasa, saya Kudo Maharizu dari laman blog STOMACHOFCHAOS.com bersama para panelis dari BUZZPOPTV akan memberi reaksi dan ulasan pengakhiran Cour pertama musim ke-6 anime My Hero Academia, episod 5 hingga ke-13. Jika anda ingat, the last session was done sometime in tahun lepas. The last session untuk Boku no Hero kami buat sampai episod 4. Tapi atas sebab-sebab yang obvious nanti kita akan bincangkan, kami ingat nak tunggu just go one shot. Anyway, Boku no Hero Academia boleh ditontoni di Malaysia melalui laman streaming Netflix dan Amazon Prime setiap malam Sabtu. Seperti biasa, panelis malam ini terdiri daripada anime sensei BUZZPOP dan Isekai Waifu Hunter Andri Alwi. How are we today?
Siapa dulu?
Andri Alwi.
Oh, hello.
Isekai Waifu Hunter.
Yeah, hi.
You've been out of action for so long.
Yes, out of action for so long. Hey guys, what's up? Tell your waifu I said hi. And
tell your waifu you said hi. Wow,
tell your waifus I said hi. NTR King is on air now.
The Waifu Hunter.
NTR.
Yes. Dan juga kaki anime dan Gundam Mister kami, Charles Lee American. How are you today, Matt?
Hi, doing well. Dah lama tak sembang dalam anime punya full ni dengan Andri, because our previous Gundam discussion was dengan panelis lain kan.
Yeah. I cannot follow Gundam. It's too big to start. You say you complain about One Piece. Gundam lagi pening.
Tapi at least Gundam dia potong-potong. Tak apalah. Tapi
yes,
whatever
it
was quite interesting. It was quite an interesting discussion, and I'm glad lah. I didn't do much talking at all because those 3 guys were well versed. Senang lepas tangan dia orang.
The only thing Gundam I'm well versed is Gundam Build Players, and it's because my focus was on Rinko. Yeah,
I know.
On the mom.
The mom. Adalah 1 millisecond dia terkeluar masa dalam aku buat that little video. Anyway, okay, dan juga pada anda yang menonton sesi setelah live stream ni berakhir, so sila langgan kepada laman YouTube STOMACHOFCHAOS dan BUZZPOPTV supaya anda tidak ketinggalan untuk menonton live stream kami yang akan datang. Dan jangan lupa untuk tekan butang like dan juga share lah kalau jika anda fikir kami punya konten ini interesting. So, seperti biasa, we are back in the fold to discuss My Hero Academia. Dan juga nak summarize untuk Cour pertama season 6, ia disiarkan pada apa yang direferkan sebagai fall season, iaitu dari bulan Oktober hingga ke akhir bulan 12 tahun lepas, mengandungi 13 episod dan merangkumi jilid 26 hingga 30. So not bad kan, 30 volumes. But bearing in mind, sebab kami macam Afsal, kami tak bedah 2 episod sekali. Pasal cerita ni season Cour ni banyak gaduh. So bayangkanlah dalam banyak-banyak ni dia punya gaduh punya scene banyak panel kan. So banyak panel tapi tak ada cakap. So habis nak baca 1 volume cepat je. tapi it took up 5 volumes, which was quite surprising actually. Okay, so we are going to memberi kami punya reaksi satu ayat untuk pengakhiran Cour 1 season 6 My Hero Academia. Okay, reaksi satu ayat saya, all stops pulled, tapi by both sides. Ini hard hitting jugalah, walaupun banyak orang komen asyik-asyik, I mean the fight was never ending, tapi semua orang pergi all out, memang all out habis. Syaz, what's your reaksi satu ayat untuk the remaining of the first cour?
Saya sangat kejut with the fact that ada karakter yang mati and suffer permanent disabilities. It's a shocker lah kalau compare dengan all the previous episode sebelum ni. Dia macam like injury, itu dia kena regenerate semua, then now it's
kena
like
kena cium ke apa kan. Now no kissing will will help you, man. Andri?
Okay, if there's a word for this card, it's called high stakes lah. There's no room for error for the heroes or the villains. They are out for blood. Heroes are killing the bad guys are killing the heroes, and we see a lot of these things happening on both sides. And sadly, one of my favorite characters beat the dust, and we don't see that thing happen. Yeah, but it was hinted that the last action yang this hero buat kan actually save Deku tau, because can I say this or do we talk later about the death lah?
Is this thing related to this cour, or is it related to chapter?
It's related to this cour lah, of course. It's related to this cour because we know. Okay, the person I'm talking about was Midnight. Remember when GIGANTOMACHIA was heading towards Deku, right? There was a stream of bad guys kat belakang. So she got thrown off, and she diverted the attention of the villains kan, yang ikut GIGANTOMACHIA, and died fighting them. It doesn't know if she was victorious or was it a Pyrrhic victory where both of them fight and both dua pihak mati. But at the end, when we see at the end of the battle, right, tak ada new flow of villains datang. So that means her last action actually was stop additional reinforcement. So it was quite a heroic end for her lah.
Actually aku macam salah faham sikit. Masa kan dia nak mati kan, masa Chiri spoke to the students on the comlink. There were like shadows, or whether this was from the manga, whether this was from the episode, aku tak ingat. Nampak macam orang coming towards her. At that time aku ingat macam those were the villains yang jenis-jenis yang all the Chokia villains yang bagian that came from the villa, because she was so injured. Let's say that she was not discovered, she could possibly survive the injuries, but I think they came to her and just beat the shit out of her and bludgeoned her to death.
And they were also ada yang mati tau. She didn't take business jugalah, because this was her last line of her life lah, because I'm not going to knock these people out. Gari, no, I'm going to kill them, because if I don't kill them, they will go over there and they will kill our embers of hope or whatever you call them lah, Deku gang lah.
Tapi kan
you wanted to say something.
The manga was darker, she got violated and stuff, so aku macam like
aku actually aku tak baca. Okay, go ahead.
From my source, I didn't see any violation. The people yang buat violation theory kan is people who actually saw a doujin of it now. And it could have happened. It could have happened. It could not have happened because we didn't see the state of her corpse afterwards. But
Kau nampak
she
tinggal
did die.
macam mata.
Macam mata, yeah. So, canonly, she fought until she died. That's the official storyline lah.
Yeah, and also Horikoshi, he would dia aku rasa paling ganas pun dia tak buat lah macam mati yang gitu teruk macam tu lah. If according to what I've read and seen the way that it's written. Anyway, we've got a few reaksi daripada chat. Nice to see everybody back. Yes, Ultra Plus category the great. Apa khabar? Fat, keep it low key. Too hot to join for my MHA session. Ha 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 ha. Are you talking about yourself? Anyway, Caleb Paul, MHA is back, and one word, unexpected. Betul. And juga balik kepada kategori satu ayat Midnight Sensei. Yes, exactly seperti apa kami sebut tadi. Jamal Raslan, hai Kudo. Hai Jamal.
Jamal ni terkenal.
Jamal, kawan, kau nak join? Tapi aku boleh access Facebook kalau kau nak join, drop a message, we'll send you the link. Betul kita ada soalan menyimpang daripada Afiq Fitri. Hei, tak baik panggil Syaz Pak Cik. Hei, kau ni pun.
Panggil kau lah Pak Cik, kau dah
lari topik sikit, nak tanya nanti ada ke talk film Suzume. Saya nak tengok, tapi saya seperti mana anda semua tahu, saya tak duduk dekat Malaysia. Tak memanglah my sucks to be me lah, tak dapat tengok yet. Tapi kat Malaysia dah boleh tengok. Kalau by the time saya boleh tengok dan juga ada panelis BUZZPOP yang dah tengok dan berminat nak berbincang, kami mungkin buat session untuk either dalam secara bentuk live stream, because 2 tahun lepas ke Makoto Shinkai punya film Your Name Kimi no Nawa pernah dibincang oleh BUZZPOP, tapi interestingly Tenki Noko tak bincang. Ada orang macam kalau secara sinis kata yes, all his films are the same. They are kind of the same. But I don't know, tapi it's making money, is very popular. Dia baru je pergi Berlin tunjuk filem Suzume no Tojimari dekat film festival, and then on the way back to Japan dia singgah sekejap London itu. Menyesal. I mean, hari tu saya tengok Demon Slayer punya compilation film, malam tu dia datang London. Dia buat Q&A lagi. Tapi tiket dah habis dah lama lah. So kalau saya nak pergi pun tak dapat tengok. Tapi itulah, watch this space, tengok dalam laman Facebook either STOMACHOFCHAOS.com atau BUZZPOPTV, dan we'll let you know if we're gonna talk about this. Nak Jamal Raslan nak join, dia kata. Ya. Boleh, aku bagi the link.
But one thing about Suzune, kan, I noticed one thing.
You guys talk among yourself. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Suzune, I noticed dia punya cinematic presentation dekat Malaysia ni kan, it's pretty higher than the Slam Dunk movie tau. Masa saya pergi dekat GSC, I think there's like 20 showing in one day, at least 20 showing one day, compared to Slam Dunk. And other titles lah yang keluar. Even Quantumania has been overshadowed by Suzune on the first day dia keluar for GSC screening tau. I'm very surprised.
Suzume, I can't remember how long dia dah tunjuk dekat Jepun, tapi dia dah potong Jujutsu Kaisen Zero dalam carta. Dan juga selamat datang kepada panelis bidan terjun kami, Jamal Raslan. How are you? Reaksi satu ayat. We are doing until chapter 13. So don't reaksi satu ayat the second core.
Reaksi satu ayat. MHA, I've said this 1.5 years ago to Arif Nakiuddin. Arif, if you're watching, shout out. And I just told this to Shaz and Nick tadi, about like half an hour, 40 minutes ago. MHA is the Japanese X-Men, and I will die and live on that hill.
No.
It is.
No.
It is.
No.
Okay, lawan.
No. It is.
Aku baru
I'm not
nak
gonna
buat
say
session
which
ni.
one is better. I have my justifications, but yes.
It's
not
not
a like for like. Not a like for like, but in essence, in terms of how people have quirks and abilities in the X-Men world, mutants. In MHA, it's quirks. But the stories of people getting socially ostracized for having or not having abilities, or useless or useful abilities, and people going to institutions to learn how to use those abilities and apply them, and how society is shaped by all these people that has these abilities, and the status quo of those who have and have not, is a Japanese X-Men. In that sense,
I see it differently. I think it's more like Young Justice than X-Men tau. Because in the X-Men, right, mutants kan, they are frowned upon regardless of how useful you are, how pretty you look, or how beastly you can get. Whereas the Young Justice kan, it's like, okay, metahumans exist. They contribute to society in one form or another, whether you're in the syndicate or for the government or even for the Justice League. And but it's like a niche market tau. That market exists tau. And people die often. If you compare to X-Men, right, susah orang nak mati ni tau. I think X-Men
Kudo.
like
Tak, Kudo, don't take it too far. Aku tak baca DC,
Kudo.
so your Young Justice is perfect. Kalau compare Young Justice dengan X-Men, then MHA is more Young Justice than X-Men lah. Tapi sebab aku baca Marvel je.
Here's the thing. In Young Justice kan, a lot of people died easily, like MHA. But X-Men, right, the animated series, aku ingat orang yang mati kan, it's actually just morph.
Just ignore animated series. When I'm saying X-Men, I'm not referring at all to the animated series. It is a loose adaptation of whatever happens in the comic. There is an abridged version. So kalau aku kata X-Men, kalau aku kata X-Men, aku straight refer to the comic.
Comic.
Comic. Tak ada no, not animated series. Don't worry. Tak.
Oh, okay.
Tak. The animated series tu is like, hey, we should make an X-Men cartoon, let's make it. But what story do we tell? We take this story, and then we just do a 3 episode continue. Itu je. Dia bukan macam kita nak adapt komik kepada animation lah, bukan kan? So, tapi go back to your point yang meta-humans, I feel since sebab aku tak baca DC. So bila kau kata meta-humans tu, yes, meta-humans are closer to quirks than mutants are closer to quirks. So basically what I wanted to say is that benda tu je lah. So katakanlah aku fan DC, aku kata lah, okay, MHA is Young Justice instead of X-Men. And I feel for all their merits, dalam tiga-tiga tu, I again will die on this hill. MHA is the best execution of this concept, di mana satu dunia yang ada meta-human. Very compelling stories. Despite only being how many years versus the Young Justice, or rather on my case versus the X-Men kan. Berapa tahun je banding, tapi compelling gila babi sial. X-Men kejap mati, kejap hidup, kejap travel,
and it's the work of one man,
it's the work of one man. Yes.
If you're talking about X-Men right now, right, there's no such thing as death because they have a
I know. Aku collect. Aku ada the entire Hickman run, so.
Jamal, ada satu soalan.
Anyway, my point is just on the meta-humans lah. So bila kau kata meta-humans, aku setuju sangat. Betul. Apakah dalam gambar Abang Jamal tu ada rambut?
Gambar mana ni?
Gambar aku kat YouTube.
Gambar tak? Ni kot gambar. No. Gambar kat YouTube tu. I see. Anyway,
Afiq.
Right.
Afiq, susah tau nak kawan dengan Syaz ni. Susah sangat. Tengoklah efek dia. Astagfirullahaladzim. Kadang-kadang je. Saya botakkan kepala sebab I feel that I dah tak tahu how to take care of my hair. I malas nak jaga, and benda ni paling senang.
Anyway, so I think it's time for us to get cracking. Saya ada 9 soalan secara untuk 13 tolak 9 episod ni. So let's get on to segmen kita yang seterusnya. Segmen seterusnya adalah soalan pertama. So basically kita start daripada episod 5 dan juga as I said bermula daripada penghujung serangan hero ke atas Gunga Villa. Masa ni twice baru aja kena tikam dengan bulu ayam. So soalan pertama, I'm going to give it to Shaz. Destruction of the Jakku Hospital and the battle at the Gunga Mountain Villa. So pandangan anda secara am tentang akibat daripada serangan serampang dua mata oleh pihak heroes. I guess this is like a summarization of the first 4 episode just to get the ball rolling lah. And anything else that has happened, anda boleh menggunakan overlay itu sebagai guide if you want to think about other points. Dipersilakan.
This is aku tak boleh tahan pula when this moment.
Pasal muka dia kan, tak tahu dia happy ke, dia takut ke.
This moment dia suruh orang lari tapi dia tak takut sebab dia will survive kena pingit. So that I am ready, tapi semua kena lari. So dia macam like, aku dah suruh lari ke tak ni? But I think I will leave the portion yang akibat tu for the rest to discuss. But I just nak highlight one thing, a concern lah yang we discussed it before.
Yes.
But something that has shown up again dalam this MHA punya world, polis ni macam diberikan kuasa yang orang kata diberikan task yang terlampau berat untuk dihandle.
Actually kan, aku hari tu masa aku tahu lepas ni Audrey dengan ni nak masuk, tapi the point is aku terfikir, I know this is a naive answer, very naive answer. Kemungkinan disebabkan because the remit of these villains are level criminals. So the badan you know, the so-called the force that the government, katalah Kementerian Dalam Negeri, dia akan gunakan polis lah. Macam ada orang buat argument masa Sabah kena invade. Okay, that's a totally different story. Why dia orang pakai polis tapi tak pakai military? Correct me if I'm wrong. Something to do with because those people are from another sovereign country. They don't want to make it a declaration of war by having the military involved. Tapi I know these are people, villains with quirks. But I just wonder if that's the case lah. Macam, you know, tak nak tangkap pencuri, panggil polis lah. Takkan nak panggil askar. Tapi itu je lah.
I find that hard to accept because the amount of heroes you bring over with the police signifies it's going to be a major battle. So my question would be, kenapa kau tak start dengan couple bombing?
Oh, lagi satu. Kalau Jepun dalam dimension My Hero Academia ni masih lagi menggunakan konsep Japan Self-Defense Force, they only have equipment to defend as opposed to attack. If
which is kind of funny lah. They still have tanks. They still have machine gun. They still have sniper rifles.
Yelah.
Tranquilizer darts.
Tapi you can also argue that the police, because of the fact we've got villains of this caliber, are very well equipped. Tengoklah prison system diorang. I mean, bayangkan prison system diorang boleh macam Tartarus tu kan, very well equipped, very well.
Ada orang dengan machine gun punya code and whatnot like.
Tapi itu aku punya pemikiran je lah.
So, okay, let's say kau tak nak pakai carpet bombing sebab that is against human rights. Kau drop lah tear gas by the barrels, biar orang menangis, pedih mata semua. You know, there's so many things you can do to minimize casualties on both sides or potential casualties. Sleep gas ada. You can have tranquilizer darts. You can have armed forces coming in. You know, dia macam it shows that the hero punya society and all the government running ni macam orang tak kerti nak berlawan tau. Dia over value how strong the heroes are. So it shows a level of naivety.
That is possibly a good point lah. Maknanya kerajaan ni terlalu complacent lah. Kan?
Dia
nak
terlampau
harapkan all might.
Over reliant on these heroes, expecting individuals to be able to handle it. When you could have like a reserve army kat belakang, you know, with fighter jets and everything patrolling the sky, ready to fight and whatnot. So macam, where are these people? You have villains the size of Gigantomachia. Kau tak nak tembak juga roket kat muka dia. It makes no sense. So I feel like the attack was well coordinated tapi naive. They assume that there is not enough rage and coordination among all the villains in that group to be able to put up a strong counter offensive.
Rasa macam the heroes put all the eggs in one basket kan, macam diorang hantar semua sekali dalam serampang dua mata tu, macam tak ada tinggal apa-apa behind. Not being naive enough to not fikir whether or not there were moles inside the public safety department, police or even heroes themselves kan.
Like let's say like kau nak tangkap dia orang dulu, you can still put like half a kilometer away or 1 kilometer away with the reserve students. Kau bawa students. Kau bawa students instead of people armed with grenade launchers and mortar and you know assault rifle and all that. So aku rasa macam you overestimated the hero punya abilities, especially when you are walking.
Underestimated the villains.
This is a point di mana where dia dah kenal Nomu
Yeah.
So they already know the existence of Nomu, bukannya surprising. So tak lah, I feel like they could have done better, but because macam you kata they have come to an over reliance on heroes lah. So mungkin the usage of military is already frowned on by this point of time.
Anyway,
Syaz ada Kudo quick one, just nak tanya Syaz based because he mentioned something. Tadi kau cakap diorang kenapa tak buat carpet bombing, and then you said faham lah kalau carpet bombing mungkin it's a humanitarian issue and whatnot kan. So because yalah carpet bombing kan serious kan, why not they don't do why don't they do mat bombing?
Sebab mat tu nanti tak cukup carpet.
Itu pasal malam ada
Kudo tak faham dia joke.
Aku tahu mat, kapet, tiga getah. Andri ada apa-apa nak tambah?
I don't care about map or mat or whatever carpet bombing apa you're talking about lah, but the whole planning and is a fail lah, you ask me lah. Hawks dah beritahu information awal-awal tau. Dia kata okay, the villains, they number in the tens of thousands tau, okay, 20-30,000 across Japan tau, and you try to hit them all at the same time tau, and you're just using the police. If you have 10 or 20,000 something kan, you need to call in the army tau. But no, you don't even call in the SWAT team. You have the police tapi tak ada SWAT team. You put too much reliance on the heroes, and you have no idea kan. They have no macam, okay, if you make a plan kan, there's always 3 scenarios tau. The best case scenario, the most obvious scenario, and the worst case scenario tau. Worst case scenario kan is one of the things that the if you have 10 people, it's like the 10th man kan will give you the deal lah. This is the worst case scenario. The bad guy has someone kan who can kill thousands of people kan in 1 second now. Basically a walking nuclear weapon, SHIGARAKI. They didn't take that into consideration now. They haven't taken into consideration kan SHIGARAKI kan was operative at the time. They thought he was in
although they probably didn't know that by this time SHIGARAKI has all for one powers at the moment to have a lot of stuff to do. Actually, this is quite a good since kita duk borak pasal tadi siapa tu? Syaz duk sebut pasal GIGANTOMACHIA. I think I will move over this next question to you, Andri. So basically just percubaan untuk menghentikan kemarahan GIGANTOMACHIA. Patutkah pihak hero boleh melakukannya dengan lebih baik? Pendapat anda? I think it comes in the remit of the fact that they weren't expecting or underestimating, but go ahead.
I think in this case kan, the only person yang boleh kalahkan GIGANTOMACHIA kan is Momo tau.
Momo yang,
I mean, she has the ability to create stuff. If I were her, right, I would create like macam 12 artillery guns, and then I would just fire rounds kan yang ada macam gas, knockout gas, something like that lah, instead of just campak dekat mulut dia tau. You know, once they get the gas kan, maybe you slow down, dia penat, and then you just campak lah apa dekat mulut dia apa. I mean, if you're going to poison someone like by air or gas, right, it's the most easier lah thing to do. But no, we have to play apa macam football, pass apa through the you know, the goal line, something like that lah. It's too much of a risk lah if you ask me.
Yeah, but probably kita boleh macam bring it down to the fact that, you know, ni budak tingkatan 1, that's the best that she can come out with. That kind of stuff lah. Well, they are in Form 1.
Hold on. You look
dah 6 season lah.
Itu kau Momo kan dalam dia pun itu badan budak tingkatan 1 lah, 13 tahun.
Dia dah Form 4. Aku rasa dah 16 lah kot.
Form 4.
She looks like a young mother. Young MILF.
Oh no. Here we go again. Shaz, anything to add?
This also links back to the naivety in the planners punya decision making lah. They know that Gigantomachia exists, tak silap aku. If not at the very least, Hawks should be able to tell them of this guy punya existence. Because dia dah sampai to the level where he has gone to quite low into the inner circle lah, except for the final circle punya meeting punya level. He has mingled with everybody lah, and then dia ada access kepada Twice kot. Dia boleh tanya je, mama yang badan besar tu mana pergi ya?
Tapi Gigantomachia, he only answers to All for One kan?
Yes.
Yeah.
So kemungkinan, as I said again, I mean, people weren't expecting Shigaraki to have the power to call him, because he was dormant in the basement of the villa. So I think diorang macam
but again, it comes back to that lah. The planning was a bit naive lah, and the fact that you're willing to risk students rather than train killers. Wow, that's insane, man.
Jamal, have you got any thoughts on this?
Masa aku tengok, aku tak terfikir pun poin-poin yang Andri dengan Syaz cakap ni. Tapi I agree with every single one.
Good. So this brings us to the next question, which is for you. So konfrontasi Shigaraki bertindak. Konfrontasi. Anyway, namun frasa All for One tiba-tiba kedengaran melalui comlink apabila Endeavour mengulangi kata-kata yang ditutur Shigaraki apabila All for One mula merasuki minda Shigaraki lah. Pandangan anda, so this is the first time everybody properly heard the word, I mean the phrase one for all, because I think at the moment yang tahu Bakugo kan, apart from All Might lah, because dia orang macam what's this All for One thing? Anyway, thoughts?
I think aku rasa okay je, because I did not read the manga, and aku tak sempat nak catch up, tak sempat nak introduce myself to the manga, because Arif dengan Umar yang recommend aku tengok MHA, so and I jumped straight into the anime because they were sharing me clips.
Yeah, tak kisahlah, just habis on the anime pun tak apa.
So when I was watching this, aku rasa macam one thing about this anime is that the timing is great, as in dia jaga pacing. Jadi bila Shigaraki mengambil tindakan ni, at least from watching the anime, sebab kalau kau baca manga dia punya experience lain kan, at least from watching the anime, aku rasa timing dia berlaku tu cantik sangat, because it is just at the moment when you feel like okay, something should happen, things should be escalating, who or what you don't necessarily care, but okay, it needs to go up a level dan kena ada satu threat yang besar dengan oleh orang yang macam sangat-sangat resolute lah, yang fokus, yang macam aku nak buat benda ni. So when this happened, I felt that it was great lah, because the moment it happened, it changed the tone of everything that was happening. Everybody took everything seriously, and then the way it was revealed, aku rasa sangat macam mana? One thing that I have rarely used to describe shonen animes is compelling. Sebab it's shonen manga. It's shonen IPs and shonen title. So benda tu asalkan dia menangkap sentimen-sentimen dalam golongan shonen ni, then dia kira okay lah. Tapi MHA has this quality yang macam, especially in the anime adaptation, bila dia buat certain scenes tu yang mungkin Deku tengah buat satu benda yang sangat hebat atau sangat besar, and then he needed to react and response, and then you feel this rousing feeling of realization ke determination ke dan sebagainya. So MHA punya anime does that very very well. So when this happened, aku rasa macam wow, like shit, we need to take Shigaraki, not just we need to take Shigaraki seriously. It's like, oh fuck, mama ni habis tu nak menang je dia sial. That was how I felt.
Yeah,
that was how
same here lah. Same
macam dude, habis tu OP je ke, broken je, like habis tu nak. And then when every time it cuts back to the good guys, macam nampak sangat macam diorang ni budak hiungesan, budak setau jagung, yang even the experienced teachers macam okay, kita nak, you know, they're at the skin of their teeth, tengah nak defend lah, tengah nak cari jalan, you know, nak solve this problem. Padahal orang jahat macam okay, aku lempang je, aku just steamroll over these people. So it has that really, it feels like that. So and it feels like that naturally. Jadi bila ada hero yang buat sacrifice, ada hero yang buat clutch play atau clutch moments, kau rasa macam oh. So aku jarang, serius juga, aku jarang rasa macam ni. So as a result aku rasa macam wow, korang ni ada sini gempak saya. And aku nak baca dia manga.
Like I have the manga because I want to read it. I have read it, but macam aku baca macam sangkut, and then bila this season came out, I watched it on its own without reading the manga, and went back to the manga after watching it. But you are right, the adaptation is done quite nicely with regards to, you know, untuk aku, like I mean I don't know lah about other people, but thus far kalau kita tengok bedah dari BUZZPOP mengenai apa-apa lah, I like music, but not many people talk about music. And people need to know that the guy Yuki, what's his name, the composer who does the score for MHA, I do not know what other works dia buat, tapi the score for MHA is orchestral, is very well done. Aku angkat tangan lah, uncle ni menitis juga air mata part-part yang macam, you know, when there's emotion going on and then otak semangat naik ke apa, benda-benda macam ni sebab this adaptation buat. And then beat macam like yang ada, you know, like if you remembered when they were in the basement of the hospital, one of the good guys managed to pegang Shigaraki sebelum sempat kena endeavor ke apa, tapi before he became macam semen, dia buat macam ni. Oh shit, man. You know, benda-benda macam tu.
Yeah.
I know it's very little, small. It's not. It's like they could have like simply done meletup, lawan, tumbuk ke apa. You know, beats like that macam Allah, what touch here, man. Buat macam tu.
Kita sembang pasal lagu ke sekarang?
Tak. Kita sembang pasal, aku punya soalan dekat Jamal we were talking about Shigaraki punya fight. When he started fighting and all that, and then in Jamal made a point about how the adaptation, you know, is done very well. In fact, you don't need to read the manga to actually. As I understand it, apa?
You don't have to read the manga at this point now. Tak boleh. It's not just watch the anime, because it's just pacing. The adaptation is very very. I'm not saying close. It's identical to the manga. They leave very little things out. And one more thing about Shigaraki kan in representation in this whole show, right? One of the best things yang MHA buat kan is they did villains kan right tau. We have a capable, intelligent, believable villain that you can not only believe in, you can also root for tau. You know, Shigaraki kan, you know his motivations, you know his dedications. Was he wrong? Yes, but you understood. It's
Where
like
it comes from.
yeah, it's like this characters is from Hayao Miyazaki punya studio production now. They are well thought, fleshed out characters. They're not like, I'm going to conquer the world for $1 billion or $1 gajillion billion.
Dia you nak compare the villains from Harry Potter dengan All for One, Voldemort dengan All for One ni kan.
He does look a bit like Voldemort though.
Yeah.
Tapi tak ada mata.
Tak, you imagine Voldemort only does he only rules through terror. Dia buat Crucio sikit, dia Avada Kedavra sikit, and Imperial sikit. That's it. You compare dengan All for One ni, dia punya curse last 2 generations tau. Sampai ke Shigaraki, which is the grandchild of Nana.
Nana.
Anak dia ni. Anak dia. Cucu kan?
Cucu. Shigaraki cucu dia. In fact, Shigaraki bukan nama dia, tapi nantilah we'll talk about it later on.
Sebab anak dia yang jadi kena abandon, so Shigaraki bila born dia jadi teruk. But anyway, dia manipulate kat sana, dia curi orang punya abilities, dia manipulate through multiple ways, psychological terror, straight dengan many levels lah. And cara dia cakap pun, when he talk to you, kau cakap, aku nak aku lempang mamak ni kan. So that is the sign of a really like orang Melayu kan dia geram kan. Voldemort memang saya tak ada hidung.
Itu abrakadabra
kan. So I don't know, in terms of how they portray a villain that you want to hate, All for One has so much of the qualities done in a believable way tau. So macam like it's very good writing.
It's interesting that we get to talk about this in this season, and then aku make me remember, apa salah korang kena, kesian kat Nick lah, having to bedah pasal season 5.
Season 5.
Not anybody's fault. Nobody knew it was going to be that way at that time. Just a quick mention lah. Just now we were talking about the adaptation and the fights and all that kind of thing. Apa yang pada peminat Boku no Hero yang suka ikut what you call it, social media, anda mungkin ingat masa back in December, November, orang duk complain, apalah animation macam, kan animation dia orang kata in short lah, the gist of it, animation tak cantik. Sedangkan kalau kita tengok balik, I can see where they're coming from, tapi dia orang lawan di waktu siang, and then apabila anda disajikan dengan dengan artwork by Horikoshi yang this detailed. I mean, I guess kalau dia orang buat anime ni adapt macam old school punya, ada anime kan yang akan draw garis-garis macam buat macam manga tu, boleh lah. Tapi especially this scene for example, tapi apa nak buat, dia dah gaduh tengah hari, langit dah biru. I mean, kalau nak buat macam senja ke, nak buat ada kabus ke, nak buat langit purple ke, a bit susah. Kenapa dalam manga it can be done? Because dalam manga no, it's not black and white. It is a single frame. So kalau kita tunjuk, just tengok just tunjuk kalau kita tunjuk gambar dia tadi. Am I punching, saya tengah tepuk ke, ataupun tangan saya tengah letak kat sini ke, ataupun tangan saya datang dari sini ke, ataupun dari bawah ke. You get all those lines lah in the manga. Yes, that's where all the lines are for. So bila kau tembuk macam tu, ada line dari belakang going forward, fokus ke sini, kita tahu that is the punching direction. But there was an art style which has been not utilized in modern punya ni, sebab you boleh nampak the characternya motion. You have the multiple frames daripada point sini, dia tunjuk, dia tendang sampai ke sini. So there was no need to use those lines
and those lines were actually used dalam macam kudo kata the older animes lama-lama dulu, where you can see like tumbukan and everything semua ada lines coming up. So I think it was a creative decision lah to use color and dia punya and not use all those lines because aku fikir juga lama benda tu. The reason they use color is as a backdrop and a contrast to the devastation that is going in the foreground. So kau macam like kau nampak tau that they are trying to take away something which is so calm and peaceful, which you had all this while, and right in front of you dalam foreground ni, in the front, you see the devastation that's happening. So kau akan macam like, oh shit, what is going to happen to blue skies now after this? So it's I'm pretty sure there was a lot of reasoning for it and not to save budget.
And at the same time, I mean, at the same time, it's all nitpicking lah. But ini image daripada overlay. I'm gonna change up. Sorry kamera aku ni memandai sangat nak buat setting apa. Oh sorry. Anyway, we'll do it first. So basically, kalau tengok overlay ke atas tu, it's pretty much that top picture yang ada whoosh tu. I mean, obviously you get to see all the lines, all the whatsoever, but I still think that it's alright. I mean, people are just nitpicking lah, and doesn't take away the enjoyment of watching what I've seen thus far. So let me just get rid of that thing and make it normal. Dah habis itu, tak payah nak macam artistik sangat. So anyway, kita we've done 3 questions. Kita pergi kat chat sekejap. Caleb Paul, where is Hawks? Hawks tak ada kepak. Dia masuk hospital. He was severely injured when DABI attacked him at the villa, and then what apa nama Mama Crow hitam Toyo. Dark Shadow took him away lah. Tokuyami. Okay, next question is category the grade. Patutnya Mina yang best MVP, tapi nak fokus Kirishima ex Mina, sebab itu Kirishima jadi MVP. Flashback cerita lama. Oh, nanti saya cakap pasal saya punya MVP untuk this, but we'll talk about that later. Category the grade again, main villain sebenarnya jadi puppet je, turn down mood je bagi pendapat saya. Yeah, as we have said that all for one, he's bastard and dia Machiavellian habis. Shigaraki jadi villain kerana dipaksa, bukan sebab personal motif. I think it's a bit of both. But diracunkan lagi oleh All for One. You know, I mean, obviously one of the big trigger was the fact that if it wasn't for his grandmother not letting his father become a hero, dia mungkin had seen the world differently or something like that, if I remember correctly. So dia question ni actually just nak tambah sikit. Go ahead. Shigaraki punya motive has not changed. There are 2 points. All for One has been reminding him, dia orang ni jahat, kita yang baik. That's one. Yang kedua, kenapa Shigaraki dia macam tak puas hati when All for One started showing up, is because he did not want to be the puppet. That's why there was a lot of anger and trying to nak kata synchronize tak juga, trying to determine who will finally be the main controller of Shigaraki punya overall body semua ni, is because Shigaraki wants to do things on his own terms lah. Dia tak nak just jadi random puppet. So dia tak dipaksa, tapi All for One cuba paksa untuk jadikan Shigaraki sebagai full time puppet and not just pengikut yang telah dikontrol emotionally and so on. Jadi literal puppet. Anybody else has any views on this?
Shaz took the words right out of my mouth. Aku nak kata part Shigaraki wants to do it on his own terms. Shaz said.
Andre?
Okay, you have to understand kan the hubungan antara All for One dengan Shigaraki now. It's more than just puppet dengan puppet master tau. It's not like apa nama tu yang Orochi dengan Sasuke. Remember in Naruto?
Orochimaru.
Orochimaru. He wanted Sasuke punya body. Like this case, All for One nak body Shigaraki because it has power.
You nak body high.
You want my body? Yeah, I want your body.
Hey,
but you have to understand. Buruk. But this is the case. But you have to understand kan.
Orochimaru lidah.
Orochimaru. Yes, Sasuke, my boy. Grow up healthy and sexy. I'll be new soon. But All for One is different. He's evil. But you have to understand kan. Deku would learn from the 9 previous S kan, the previous users of One for All. Yang even though All for One is evil kan, dia ada kekurangan satu benda yang buat dia inside him tau. Hatred. He doesn't have hatred. Dia tak benci siapa. And the reason why dia pecahkan the kuasa All for One for All ni kepada dua kan, nak absorb balik One for All kan, is because he wants to absorb the hatred from the users and absorb the hatred from Shigaraki. Maybe I spoil a bit lah, but this goes to show kan yang All for One kan is evil just because he's evil tau. He has no personal investment to become evil tau. I mean, no one fucked him, and he became evil. Okay, he's just there, and he chose to be evil because he seems that that is the path that he wanted to tread on. Senang je. So when we go back to the point at hand, right? Shigaraki punya motivation kan, he is not forced to become a villain, but he was actually placed in a situation where he has to make a decision as a victim of all this society, all this situation kan, that makes him a villain now, and this is what generates him to have hate now. So everything kan is according to All for One punya plan tau. You can say All for One punya plan kan is his quirks punya, is his basic, is his most powerful strength. No, it's his planning tau. This is an evil mind at work at its best tau. I don't think you can get this kind even in Marvel or DC punya villains punya gallery tau. This is very rare.
Ya, aku rasa in terms of scale dengan niat sama je, Marvel ke yang writers ke sama. But the thing that always for me lah, ni orang tak setuju tak apa. For me, why I will always put manga / anime and their anime adaptations ahead of American comics is that American comics, there's a lot of stories that they tell, but manga and mangakas, it's not about the stories that they want to tell, not necessarily just that, but it's also about the storytelling, how they tell the stories. Jadi engkau bila Andri cakap All for One ni macam dia rasa jahat sangat, dia rasa like this orang yang jahat yang sangat mempunyai satu agenda. In some ways it's like Thanos, but you don't see Thanos telling you except for those few scenes. Tapi kat dalam MHA you get the sense of this evilness being told. So engkau rasa lain because mangas and their anime adaptations are very good at showing and telling people directly or indirectly how these characters are. Sebab tu bila kita tengok Deku ada moment of realization, we feel a rousing feeling of spirit dan sebagainya. Yeah, because they tell it very nicely. Even on panels, tak payah nak adapt to the screen lagi. So sebab tu kita rasa macam wow, jahatnya atau evilnya All for One ni sebab yelah, because they manage to convey that in such a way yang kita macam takutnya. Kau takut tapi kau jijik, kau geli, kau marah. And that's very effective lah, because like macam Marvel DC Cik Adi cakap, you just see it, you just read it, they tell you with their dialogue. You like panels like what Kudo just showed. Gambar mata dan muka orang macam tu. Dia tak payah pakai dia ni marah gila. Dia just that and then all the lines they make it so intense.
Atau orang jahat. Marah betul lah dia tu.
Tu lah tu.
Unless you're reading Jojo lah. Jojo.
Tak, Jojo.
Jojo.
Jojo is a different experience.
Dia kena explain.
Jojo is a different experience. And Jojo is a mangaka who reveres American culture. So American slash US
music everything lah.
Music everything. Jadi dia memang banyak is very referential to how the Americans tell things. But even then, dia punya ingenuity nak design karakter macam tu, nak buat stand semua tu, kita kena puji lah. But yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead. I'm done.
No. Aku nak menyimpang je sekejap because korang sebut Jojo. I don't know whether you read. I do not do this, but I'm an anime only. But I just realized that the latest incarnation of Jojo is out, Jojo 9, called Jojo Lands, and the reason I thought of this was because of what Jamal said about how he likes American stuff, and then kita dalam BuzzPop kita tahulah our recent dalliance with the subject of wokeness, blah 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 in Marvel or any American IPs of late. So it has come to Jojo now. There's a character who's a brother of the main character, who wears a bikini top, but the explanation is dia ambil steroid, angkat weight, dada dia besar. So lagi tu muka dia awet semua, tapi Oni-san abang. Tapi itu satu benda aku rasa translators, the fan translators are having a hard time trying to figure out what Araki is trying to say for this new character. Good luck to them. Aku baru baca first chapter. It's set in Hawaii. Dia budak high school. Dia banyak duit. Biasalah Jojo far-fetched
gila. Tapi kan, tapi with regards to yang macam Oni-san semua tu kan, Kudo, aku rasa relax je sebab orang-orang yang dah kaki baca manga, semua orang kata One Piece. One Piece, Oda ambil benda tu macam okay, everybody. So dia dah macam dia terbalikkan dunia dah. Whatever anyway, gender you want to identify yourself as, sudah tinggal.
Aku tak kisah because this thing, I mean the Japanese have been progressive for so long lah. Anyway, just go on a few more questions. Haru Kitori, elbow cough back. Nova Roll. Betul ke Deku vs Shigaraki is the worst animation on MHA season 6? Kita tadi just mention it briefly. Orang dok complain. I don't think it is the worst. It's a stylistic decision by the animation director, and as we were saying, they were fighting in broad daylight. Memanglah kalau kita nak buat wayang, katalah nak buat wayang Transformers, I mean siapa yang suka buat video editing akan tahu the term teal and green. The teal and green macam is a filter that enhances teal, which is macam cyan. Green, it's a tint of green, and orange tau. So kalau nak, the best example of this, masa Megan Fox badan berpuluh-puluh buka boot bonnet kereta dia dalam Transformers the first one. So that's an example of a teal and green. So much so that siapa pengguna Final Cut Pro, teal and green is actually there. You can just click on it and make any of your videos look like a Michael Bay Transformer film. But it's again
macam Matrix punya filem lah, banyak hijau everywhere.
Dia punya green. Dia punya green. So aku suka macam benda-benda macam tu lah. Tapi benda macam tu is either stylistic atau it's meant to let us see diorang dalam dunia Matrix sekarang. And then because bila diorang masuk balik dalam spaceship diorang kan color biasa kan. Benda-benda macam tu lah. It's a way of storytelling by using visuals. Caleb Paul is all for one variant.
All people punya expectation kan too high. Senang je.
Yelah.
You're expecting too much from the show.
Yeah.
They have like less than a year to prepare this, but but you wanted apa work macam 5-year punya production, it's not gonna happen.
And then we, like Andri and I, we've both talked about Chainsaw Man recently, last fall, and we were actually quite, on balance lah. Banyak puji daripada kutuk sangat. Tapi it's come to light that what happened to make it like that is not 100%. And I mean, I will make Andri laugh again. There's a video by Mang Command again. He analysed, aku tengok, ya Allah, masa yang Katana Man lawan tu, the discrepancies, dia tutup, the stop, aku tengok, so blatantly can be seen now, macam, so they had issues. So, it's one thing to try to go the whole hog, nak macam gempak sangat, atau, because at the end of the day, MHA is popular, it's very popular. Yang bising ni banyak orang barat je pun. Anyway, just quick, kita nak move on to the next segment. So kalau boleh, Iqbal Irfan, hello. Deku, asal muka sejuk. And then Catherine Great, Jojo Land ada tak muka macam menggeletar sejuk yang freezing tu. Jojo Land ada trans, tak kisahlah trans ke apa ke. That's it nama dia, Dogana Joestar. Abang dia yang jadi
Dogana Joestar, okay.
So
tapi Ranma Half punya anime dulu senang-senang je, kena air panas air sejuk tukar jantina.
Tapi aku tak kisah yang
itu lain. Itu
lain.
lain.
No one cares because Ranma Chan is hot.
Dia memang macam tu. This is it's not about identity. Like that character was not created out of identity. Ranma is a story of what happens if you have a character where dia kena air panas je lelaki, kena air sejuk je perempuan. Itu je.
Yeah.
And then gitu bapak dia,
that's the story.
Bapak dia jadi panda.
Bapak dia jadi panda, betul. Lupa aku. So that's the story. It's not about okay, let's create kita dah buat karakter Ranma ni, tapi Ranma ni bila dia tukar jadi perempuan, dia persoalkan kenapa diri dia lelaki. Bila dia jadi lelaki, dia persoalkan diri dia perempuan. Lepas tu dia that is not, it's not that. And it's not it's Ranma is irreverent. Dan dia macam there's nothing serious at play. Kita bukan nak buat social commentary. This is just a story. Orang ni bila dia akan ingat consciousness dia, bila dia jadi perempuan dia kena tukar jadi perempuan, dia kena lelaki jadi lelaki. So dia terperangkap kat dalam dunia tu sebab apa? That's just it. It's got nothing to do with kita kena buat Ranma ni sebab apa kita tak cukup orang yang represent kepentingan dan identity. Dia bukan macam tu. It's got nothing. It's not serious.
And also Ranma existed in a time when those those ideas were not existent.
Yeah, and at the same time, by the same token, Jojo punya creator ni, he is not doing that daripada dulu. Kau tengok
No.
Sekarang.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He's never been. And Jojo punya manga is irreverent. Dia, aku nak tunjuk kat korang, aku suka gila babi US and Western culture. So I will tell whatever story I want to tell, looking like the culture that inspires me every day, and that's it. Tak ada apa-apa. So katakanlah ada karakter yang woke dalam Jojo 9 ni, it's not because the mangaka aku kena buat karakter woke, kalau tidak tak ada orang baca kat US. No, it's because that sekarang kat US orang sembang pasal woke okay, aku buat karakter woke. That's it.
Tapi kan lagi pun Dogana tu dia bukannya woke pun. Dia just an abang who look like woman. Dia nak explain pun, dia tak nak justify pun why I look like this.
Okay.
But anyway.
Okay, so sekejap Kudo, I need to mention this. Okay, so on a slightly even more serious note, there's a reason why that kind of character can be written in a lot of Japan manga ke animes, and the society there generally tak flip. Because in Japan, whether you all like it or not, they have no issues with people identifying with sexuality differently, people identifying with gender differently. Diorang memang tahu yang akan ada a minority in their society or in their culture yang macam kau ni pelik sikit, so kau tak kacau aku tak kacau kau. If you're a nice person, you respect my traditions, you respect my space, it is fine. Because dalam Asian culture, kalau kau tengok dalam Asian culture, folklore dan sebagainya, gender mixed identity semua ni memang dah benda yang lazim. India ada banyak, China ada banyak, Southeast Asia bersepah. Only when the proliferation of religion, colonization datang, so semua orang macam laki-laki, perempuan-perempuan. Kalau kau baca macam hikayat-hikayat lu, banyak je prince ni perempuan tapi dia nak jadi dia identify dengan lelaki, so dia dress up as a lelaki, so dia tipu So benda-benda cerita-cerita macam tu memang banyak. So in Japan where the culture dia respect benda-benda individuality macam ni, bila setakat nak buat anime atau manga watak-watak pelik macam ni, rupa pelik lelaki tapi rupa perempuan, cross dressing, tak ada hal lah, tak ada hal. Tak apa pun.
And then again tu, all this stuff is a Western construct anyway. Wokeness, cultural appropriation. Kalau macam orang ni pakai sombrero, pakai bisai tipu, pegang ukulele, budak-budak American. Kau ni apa ni? Pergi kat Mexico kan? Oh, very nice. Good.
Betul?
You like American, I like, you know. Yang bisiknya orang putih. Itu je.
Yeah.
Orang yang bangsa Jepun ke, kau pakai kimono, muka kau hitam ke, oh my god, you like my culture. Orang sana je bising.
Dia lupa nama-nama Aisyah tu datang dari negara Arab.
Anyway,
there's a lot of things kalau kau nak point out, they are very like, sebenarnya kau tak sedar.
Selektif. Sudahlah. Anyway, kita akan go on to the, actually ni artificial division of our question je, but anyway, just to do this. Right, question kita keempat. Balik kepada Syaz. Aku punya ni aku hentam je. Eraserhead MVP sewaktu pertarungan hero versus Shigaraki. Anyway, adakah anda setuju dengan sentimen aku ni? Anyway, go ahead.
Eraserhead is the MVP, definitely.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in my opinion lah. I'm not saying that nobody else did anything, but you know.
No, the fact that he was the only one that can stop Shigaraki ability, and there was no one else except maybe Eri, who did not want to risk in battle. That could stop Shigaraki. Aku rasa this comes back to my first point. Kalau they had military support, kau jam Shigaraki, kau tembak dia dengan 50 tranquilizer that, gone. Habis cerita. Saya nak tumbuk sini, tumbuk sana, tarik tali hitam. Oh, saya bearer of one fall daya.
Exactly. You immobilize him and then you shoot him from afar, so he doesn't see it coming. But no planning at all.
MVP definitely, but the sacrifice was unneeded. Sayang.
Betul.
Very sayang.
Itulah. Jamal?
Setuju. Aku, that was what I felt. I felt that masa si Shigaraki went after him macam, what, takkanlah korang 4 ekor ni je yang nak selamatkan dia. Like seriously, orang yang mempunyai aset yang paling penting, orang yang secara tactically boleh add a wrinkle or an element of surprise and unpredictability and edge in a battle. Kau letak dia kat position macam tu. Orang yang you center all your strategic punya approach, kau letak kat dia ke dalam kedudukan macam tu. And just because kau baik, tak boleh lah, kita tak boleh menggunakan askar-askar untuk melawan superhero villain-villain yang ada power ni. Askar-askar ni akan kalah. Lepas tu villain-villain ni berpuluh ribu yang boleh destroy bandar macam tu. Okay, lepas tu tak apa lagi. Faham, prinsip tu betul. And then you ask back, okay, berapa hero kita ada? Tak cukup. Okay, tak apalah, hero-hero yang tak cukup ni pun kita pergi, kita susun strategi. Okay lah, tak boleh cakap apa. Kalau dia orang tak ada GIGANTOMACHIA tu okay lagi, tapi dia ada. So I like Shaz's point, I feel what Shaz said was on point lah. Aku macam yep. So aku macam bodoh. Dah lah, Eraserhead is my favourite MHA character. Dia adalah Kakashi dan Gambit in one pada aku.
Gambit expand.
Gambit expand dan Kakashi. Tapi more Kakashi dan Gambit lah. Sebab Gambit tu sebab dia ada the personality. Kakashi is because kau ni nampak je macam sememeh, tapi sebenarnya kau gila babi. Kau quarterback.
Gambit of Kakashi aku faham, because aku tak ikut expand sangat, so aku tak tahu Gambit personality.
Okay. No, Gambit dia just very suave lah. Eraserhead when he's in action, he looks like this very cool, aloof anti-hero character lah.
Otherwise dia tidur dalam dia punya sleeping bag macam student.
Ke sebenarnya dia memang sentiasa tengah tidur, tapi dia bercakap dan mengajar dalam tidur. Faham tak? Sebab mata dia macam tu kan.
Anyway, since you're there, I'm going to give you the next question. Relax. Deku dengan tiba-tiba unlock quirk pengguna ketujuh, one for all float dari Shimura Nana sewaktu pertarungan dengan Shigaraki. Plot armor, pendapat anda?
Ya, saya setuju plot armor because one thing that I dislike, or rather not dislike lah, ni complain. Aku kalau dia adapt benda ni 90%.
Sekejap je. Engkau sebagai penulis juga, obviously I need to hear from you. Is plot armor necessarily a bad thing? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so plot armor punya soalan tu aku jawab lepas ni. So for me, one thing yang aku tak suka adalah Deku, the reveal of Deku unlocking new quirks from all the previous users not that great lah, aku rasa. So if it's adapted almost faithfully from the manga, then this complaint goes to the manga lah. Because aku rasa macam then because sometimes you know macam so convenient kau boleh unlock the quirk. And benda ni jaring pada aku, especially bila daripada season 1 dan season 2 dia dah set up macam mana Deku, ya Allah, training semata-mata nak dapat All Might punya quirk dengan DNA. So bila dia dah dapat tu, dia punya struggle lah nak master satu benda tu, bodoh tu pun. So after that, dia tak throughout all that, dia tak tunjuk yang macam Deku punya moments where he, so this is how I release a quirk, or this is how I realize that I can manipulate or apply the quirk this way. And the only time yang aku rasa puas hati, and all this stopped when during the training yang dia unwittingly terkeluar the second quirk. Yang bukan tali, whatever you call that lah. Coils tu kan.
Whip. Black whip.
The whips, okay. Because it was during training and he had a very compelling reason lah. Dia nak selamatkan because dia nak pass the training. Okay, so that was fine. Tapi after that, pada aku, macam senang-senang kau dah boleh pakai 1, 2, 3 quirk baru. So I felt that we lost the Deku of like, oh my god, I got a new quirk. Oh my god, is this how? I cannot reactivate it again. Shit, how? So benda tu tak ada. And I felt that there needed to be a bit more space for that. So this is like for me the only complaint yang aku ingat macam the rest aku semua okay. So aku rasa sayang lah kat situ because that is why Deku is a very compelling character to many, including myself, is because somehow or rather the mangaka, walaupun mungkin dia kalau dia tak secara perfect boleh garap dan boleh express, okay, kalau kau tak pernah ada superpower tapi kau teringin sangat superpower, lepas tu kau dapat superpower, how would you be? So the mangaka for me, walaupun mungkin dia tak buat benda ni perfect, but Deku punya sentiments kita rasa, like his desperation, his excitement, dia punya okay, buka buku nota aku, ni research aku, macam mana dia nak ally dia punya research dengan now his newfound abilities. And then when he realizes that his mastery over his abilities is up to a very good level, and he starts playing a key role in like strategizing, supporting, going in front of at the front of the field, kita nampak that growth. So when we have enjoyed a lot of that, lepas tu tiba-tiba macam okay, kau dah boleh pakai 3 quirk baru, like what? So I felt aku tak suka benda tu. Aku kurang suka, aku macam it's cool, we know that it's gonna happen, but aku tak rasa macam where's the discovery? Tak ada the sense of discovery, especially when the stakes are at its highest. So aku rasa tak biasa. So going to your plot, Amar punya question, katakanlah bertanya soalan tu because kau rasa tiba-tiba Deku dapat pakai quirk baru, and is that a plot armor because that situation needed somebody with Deku's powers? Aku 50-50 aku do, sebab for me MHA is not an IP or a story that I will happily use plot armor as an argument or as a point, because kau tak boleh guna plot armor punya argument dengan MHA because dia macam Demon Slayer, dia susun dengan cantik. So bila benda tu jadi, walaupun you know it's inevitable, it feels organic enough. Kau tak rasa macam contrive. Tapi for this particular instances yang dia pakai this new quirks ni, it can give you the impression that it's plot armor sebab time ni lah kau nak kena boleh ada kuasa ekstra, so kau boleh evade ke, kau boleh elak ke, kau boleh kejar dan sebagainya. So if it comes straight from the manga, then too bad lah. Maybe apa nama, the mangaka felt that it needed to do this and he was rushing for time ke apa benda ke, aku tak tahu lah. I really didn't like it. I really didn't like it. You know why not? You know why? Because Deku dalam semua karakter dalam cerita ni, outside of All Might, Deku is the most self-aware person. Whether or not benda tu sesuai dengan umur dia kat dalam cerita ni, aku tak tahu. Korang nak kutuk atau kritik, suka hati. But for me, dia self-aware and that has been very consistent. So kau bayangkan, budak yang tak pernah ada superpower, teringin nak jadi hero, lepas tu the very hero that he idolizes sees worth in him, gives him the DNA, dan dia master the quirk that the power that he eventually gets from the DNA, and we followed that very well because it was laid out very nicely. And then at every single step of his development, he realizes, dia polish, dia simpan, it becomes a lesson, it becomes a skill. Dia punya benda tu banyak, and then when he starts getting quirks yang power, yang baru, yang unique, benda tu dah tak ada. Padahal the further he goes along his journey, he should be more self-aware. He should be, he can anticipate more. He should be wiser. Faham tak? So in the recent ones, kau dah tak nampak benda tu sangat. Then of course nampaklah he goes to the dark side. Tapi macam bro, you know, it would be nice sambil kau duduk complain, kau duduk atas bangunan kosong, sambil kau nak track all for one. Lepas tu kau macam this is a new quirk. Lepas tu macam I don't have my notebook anymore. What I remember is that tak banyak moment-moment macam tu. So aku rasa macam we lost a little bit of that lah. I get it.
Because before Syaz, before Syaz dengan Andri interject, ini aku punya observation lah. So I don't think thus far they explain yet. So whether or not the appearance of a new all for one for all quirk happens during a particular stressful moment ke, or whether it's the prerogative of the holder of dalam consciousness dia, because aku terasa nak bagi dia sekarang lah, because it's a bit strange that I mean apart from the nanti kita akan tengok, which is the next question, dia orang ada dalam tu 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Deku nombor 9, nombor 8 is All Might. So the 7 tu dia orang macam bagi random tau, dia tak ada not in order pun. So kita pun tak tahu whether dia tak explain lagi macam mana. Sorry, Syaz wanted to say something.
See, that's the point yang kita kena take note. Banyak peminat MHA and anime and manga in general, jenis yang suka research, jenis suka membaca ataupun tengok anything which is guidance based, and kita banyak berfikir tau. That was something that kita identify a lot dengan Deku ni, sebab he was a researcher. Title ni ada power apa, and he thought, how do I use this power? Oh, aku banyak ni, too much power. This much macam tak cukup. Kalau aku naik sikit ni boleh. So we miss that because a lot of people would imagine to have this kind of scenario lah. A normal person who has no superpowers one day becomes a chosen one, and kita go through our hero's journey lah. Kita nak practice, nak kena research. Oh, kalau aku tumbuk kuat sangat macam ni, tangan aku 2 hari tak boleh pakai, sakit contohnya. So that was not shown either through a training montage macam cerita-cerita movie Rocky, cerita-cerita boxing atau sports, dia have training montage, and dia tak ada pula tunjuk dia ada self-discovery. Oh, di sana I am testing this ability, dah seminggu dah, I have finally been able to unlock how to use this ability with the guidance of one for all in dalam kepala dia. Sambil dia tengah lawan tu, dia berfikir, dia discuss. So that process was shortcutted. So we miss that part because we do not see the growth. So the jump daripada somebody that we can become through learning and discovery, now dah jadi somebody who is under extreme duress dengan pressure. Or now I can do everything, I must do everything. Lepas tu kepala dia mental training pun tak dapat. Itu yang dia jadi he did not get macam holder number sekian-sekian cakap okay, power saya awak kena fikir macam ni. Dia tiba-tiba kau akan rasa macam kaki tu ada masa satu force macam angin keluar dari bawah. You know, you can just come out a stupid statement macam tu. Lepas tu bila Deku fikir, ada angin keluar dari bawah kaki, that's nonsense. Lepas dia try. Oh, you mean the force, bukan angin. So, you know, goes to show that he has to put some thought into it. Because the terms that those guys tahu might be different from what he interprets. So, a lot of that was not shown. It was shortcut lah, in the sense that korang tak payah nak tengok dah benda ni. 3-4 season lalu you dah tengok dah. So now I just give you the end result. Nah, this is Deku superpower. So macam
and then ni sebelum kita ke Andri I mean it reminded me of something, because when I first kenal korang tengah Bedah season 5, the Black Whip occurred in season 5, right?
Yeah,
during
training.
the
Kawan.
First
score.
The competition match ke benda tu.
And then I remember roughly Nick was like macam tiba-tiba ada Black Whip, you know, it's like how convenient. So macam if Andri could like on top of what you want to say, I mean masa-masa tu korang macam Allah, apa pula bedalah ni pula. Was it like that?
I think I use the term S pool now, because this just happen now. You just put it from your ass hole now. Or solution now. But but I'm going to be honest now. I think you all are giving the creators of this series kan too much credit lah. The reason kan why we don't have any more character growth with Deku when it comes to power kan is because he's trying to force the story kan progress faster, because he wants to end My Hero Academia. If you notice kan, even from the narration kan, this is the last. If there's a tone of finality tau. When they narrate the series now in season 6 tau. It's like they're trying to push the story.
He did say he wants to end it not soon, but soon lah. Anyway.
Yeah. I think he's either you know when you created a series, right? And it goes on for a long time. You look back and then you see, oh, there's a lot of flaws in my plot now. So maybe I shouldn't, create more plot for the sake of the story, and just do a lot of ass posts as it is like just to progress things faster, so I can end this chapter and create another series or spin-off, whatever it is lah. We know that he does a vigilante, an offshoot of My Hero Academia story.
Side story kan.
Side story lah. Maybe that's the next project he wants to do after My Hero Academia. So maybe that's why we don't see him kan have a power progression like season 2 or 3 tau. It was very interesting kan. Once kita tengok dia want to pass through the test kan. With such limited powers tau. Oh, I got no power. I have to be careful or I lose my arm because my control shit now. And then the interclass tournament. It was everything very interesting. When he was actually struggling, right? It was the best of the series. Now he has powers like on one episode tiba dapat 3 power now. And then we were like, oh shit, this is the I cannot sit anymore because the ass pool is so bad. I have no ass left
to pull from.
To pull from. There's just a big hole there. If I sit, the chair will go inside. It's that bad.
Okay.
So when you say they about the writer punya focus, I think no. If this is done properly, this is done on not properly. This is done on purpose, purposely done. They're trying to push the story to end faster. You have to understand the creator of the story kan. He's not Oda now. Oda kan, every little bullshit that happened in One Piece kan plays off down the line tau. Okay. If this guy goes to jail kan, we see him in Impel Down up. If this guy escape to East Blue kan, we'll see him the Sabaudi arc or something like that. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens down the line. Not My Hero Academia. Or else some characters kan dah mula muncul balik lah. Like who was the I wouldn't mention now. Tak boleh.
Itu hujung sangat. But coming back to this, I mean I cannot speak for Horikoshi lah, tapi or even any mangaka. So whether or not this comes into play is something to consider. I mean, kalau aku bukan penulis, tapi kalau aku nak tulis satu cerita, aku ada cerita sampai habis. So buatlah, aku plan nak buat cerita ni 3 volume ke, 4 volume ke, 20 volume ke. Tapi and then suddenly your manga gets picked up by the syndicates, whatever, nak buat anime semua, and then you know there's going to be money in it. So whether or not you then start changing, or perhaps you should add a few more stuff. So I do not know whether that's happening to Horikoshi. But we also know there's another issue at the moment. Dia tak sihat. Dia punya shoulder sakit. In fact, there was one at the end of every chapter, he does this little doodle at the bottom, and then dia kata, baik aku tak payah ada dah bahu kalau sakit dia macam ni. And then people have noticed that in the last few chapters, pada mana-mana peminat yang baca MHA up to date on legally or illegally, whatever, on Shonen Jump Plus or whatever, you'll notice that the number of chapters are quite erratic. Usually people do a chapter 25 pages, dia kadang-kadang 11, kadang-kadang 17, tapi quality cantik. Dia buat no masa dia tengah sakit ni. So it's very erratic. And then according to Shonen Jump Plus, we're still going to get another chapter. Tapi whether this is palatau or not, but they said that he's going on hiatus sekejap. So we'll just have to see dari bila dia nak masuk hiatus ni, kita tak tahu. Tapi itulah dia tak sihat.
Horikoshi kan, dia tak suka flex tau. If I were him, right, said I got my shoulder cert for carrying Shonen Jumps punya apa on my back tau.
Atau dia flex secara ni lah apa. Okay, since you are there, so the next question the next question is for you. Try not to tarik stuff from the next cour because it's kind of related. Unfortunately, in fact, these are the only nice pictures from that bit of the anime, and it doesn't look like much. So, Dunia Vestige, One for All, dimasuki All for One and Shigaraki. Just about when Shigaraki opens his hand, the little disgusting looking, his a-hole is in his hand. And bersemuka dengan Deku backed by Shimura Nana. Masa dia kata, don't worry, you cannot move or talk here. We have your back. And kita akhirnya diperkenalkan in his entirety, because before this we only saw shadows atau nampak dia pun mata tak nampak. Adik kepada All for One, nama dia Shigaraki Yoichi. Yes, ulasan anda tentang adegan ni. I mean, your thoughts when you know, because
when this thing happen kan, firstly come to mind kan, how are all these fuckers kan are able to converse kan in this shadow realm of theirs? Are they all psychic or what tau? Because people who are dead muncul, people who are far away muncul, people who are locked away muncul, and then apa? Okay, it makes sense if Shigaraki and Deku, right, would come together and discuss and debate lah on whatever morality bullshit that's supposed to be going on right here lah. But okay, if All for One masuk, okay, that's fine because he has a link with Shigaraki. But here's the thing, Nana and the brothers kan, they are just Vestige memories now. Okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
They shouldn't appear unless Deku wants them to appear now. But that was not the case. He was dragged in by Shigaraki kan, by this whole hand discussing hand action. So this could be another S pool the writers are creating just to make the things more dramatic. You just had Deku be rescued by all these vestiges instead of him just power up, power through all this mental bullshit that One for All for One and Shigaraki is trying to put on him. You have to understand, they want Deku punya power back out. So they would do anything to get Deku to them, whether he joins them or become absorbed by him. But for Deku to actually save himself because the vestiges datang kan, it's quite a long shot lah, if you ask me lah. I mean, he doesn't even know them. They don't know all their faces at this point. Kan? I think like the two of them still haven't shown themselves.
Andri, are these parts ni dia 100% faithful to the manga ke tak?
Manga. Tapi sekejap sebelum Jamal masuk, aku punya fikiran masa benda ni jadi is bukan because Shigaraki trigger yang sendiri. It was triggered by this action by Shigaraki by the vestiges, because the vestiges had it in themselves shown to Deku their existence, the fact that the consciousness of all the previous users are within the One for All punya quirk, because if you remember one of the previous seasons yang macam dia tengok after one bad hard day at training, dia nak tidur kan, lepas tu dia nampak side profile Nana Shimura, all these other 7 tepi dia, ada some of them masih lagi gelap lah, whatever. Dia kata apa benda lah ni. Tapi at that time dia orang dah buat muka dia yang hijau tutup mulut, because obviously in this world dia tak boleh buat apa-apa. And then when he woke up, tingkap dia pecah, that kind of thing. So whether or not the vestige macam at that point, we better do something, because in case. Tapi there's more to it tau, about whether this is going to be later or not. Something about All for One dengan One for All ni, All for One boleh ambil quote orang kan, so whether or not One for All ni ada a certain kelebihan kat dia, nantilah kita mungkin kita akan cakap benda ni material core kedua kot. Sorry, Jamal wanted to say something just now. Did you?
The reason aku tanya Andy whether semua benda kita tengok ni dia ni faithfully adapted from the manga. The reason aku tanya sebab then for me it's deteriorating I think of course there's a lot of factors in play lah. Mungkin macam contoh the mangaka had like a story or a particular flow, and then lepas tu macam kau dengan Ari cakap tadi, as time progresses, the studio and the editor bagi banyak pressure, the fans ada banyak tulis, so he changes his minds midway, tukar sikit sana sini. Of course all that comes into play. Mungkin dia pun tak sihat, dia pun penat, and then dia macam whatever personal conflicts ke challenges, okay fine. So kalau macam Ari kata tadi, like this is what he is doing deliberately to write this story this way at this juncture, then for me it's a deterioration because it is not what was promised in the like first 3 seasons lah awal-awal. Macam Demon Slayer is very consistent. Apa yang kau baca kat awal, it will end like that in terms of the characters, the flow ni. So yang ni for me it's disappointing to hear Andri say that, because one thing that I thought they did well, okay, in the first 4 seasons even, is that dia ada foreshadowing sikit, dan you can kind of see where it's going. You enjoy the journey and then you get there. So yang ni sekarang ni, benda point yang kita cakap ni adalah dengan foreshadowing tak ada, dengan apa semua tak ada. The mangaka is deliberately writing it this way, plot armor, whatever you want to call it, because of external reasons. It's not even like mangaka ni sebenarnya dia tak reti tulis fleshed out characters and journeys. Dia contrive je semua, dia follow plot je. Tak, because the first 4 seasons is not that. We don't feel that way. So aku sedih lah dengar Ari cakap tu, macam lah ya ke, damn it. so
mungkin foreshadowing dia tak begitu ni kot, because dia tunjuk lah sikit macam season 3.
Tak, dia bukan, point dia macam mana tau, because if it's foreshadowed, Shaz wouldn't have shared the same observation. Henry wouldn't have replied to me like how I said. They would say, "Man, kau miss lah Mal. Season 5 ke season 4 dia ada Deku macam ni sikit. So dalam season 6 ni masa part ni dia macam ni." Benda-benda tu tak ada. We don't see those little crumbs anymore. Aku faham. Dia tengah lawan Shigaraki. Tak ada masa nak bagi crumbs. I get it. So yang Shigaraki punya tu kita boleh forgive. Tapi lepas tu, faham tak? Tiba-tiba dia dah terus training nak pakai quote baru, dah terus sembang dengan Vestiges, dah terus like, wait dude, like, okay, kau lawan Shigaraki, kau tak ada masa nak fikir semua benda ni. Tapi, where was the time that you take for yourself, that you always have taken to figure shit out, write it in notebooks? Mungkin kali ni dah tak ada notebook, but you still need to spend this time, because that's Deku. That's the Deku that we all know and love. So sekarang ni, I guess kalau aku tengok cerita ni, my loyalty is to see where Deku goes, because aku dah attached lah dengan karakter. But, dia ada asterisks lah. Dia ada asterisks. Macam Deku dah tak macam I cannot expect the same Deku as before. So something like that lah. So I mean, thanks Andy for giving me that. So sekarang ni aku akan keep an eye out lah. Macam okay, jangan feel too much about it, because it's going to be like this going forward.
Yeah, in my opinion, I mean, I get it what you meant by the first 3 chapters where you could see all the struggles and blah blah blah. Unfortunately, aku rasa by this stage, because now we have external factors. I'm not talking about Shigaraki, external factors being the Vestiges themselves. Because you will see, lepas ni, when we discuss the next core, if Andri cakap pasal S pool, this is apa pool lah, aku tak tahu lah. Tapi anyway, so that I mean, I think because benda ni macam dia pun tak tahu nak ambil note, dah suddenly kalau Vestige nombor 4 kata okay, aku nak bagi kau boleh pakai sekarang, macam kita tak tahu tau, because dia macam suka hati dia nak buat. Tapi at the same time aku boleh argue lah, yelah Horikoshi tulis dia buat ni masa chapter 10 pasal benda ni akan menyelamatkan dia. I mean that's why my original question was, adakah benda tu plot armor, for example, when she got the
So going back to that, it's not plot armor lah tu bukan. Plot armor is when plot armor is Goku in Dragon Ball Z Super.
Awak kena explain.
As much as I love Dragon Ball Z, plot armor is Son Goku in Dragon Ball Z Super. Okay? And interestingly, Toriyama in Dragon Ball Z Super, Goku punya plot armor tu dia dah intensify, but at the same time he showed that he can give Vegeta redemption and tu. So aku macam, Toriyama, what the fuck is going on, man? Plot armor adalah Fist of the North Star. As much as some of us may love the IP, I do love it. That is plot armor, where aku tak payah explain, aku terus menang, aku memang tak boleh kalah. So aku tak rasa ni MHA is not that kind of IP lah. Kau tak pernah rasa yang macam Deku dia takkan kalah. Goku dia lawan dia berdarah macam mana pun, especially lepas kau tengok dia Super Saiyan. Thank you. Especially kan lepas dia lawan Frieza dekat Namek, lepas tu Goku lawan siapa pun, dia mati pun kau tak rasa tak kalah ni, dia menang ni. Dia menang. You get that. Especially lepas Frieza onwards, you feel that way.
Bro,
MHA you don't
Ultra Instinct, the ultimate plot.
Jangan don't get me started, bro. I will fight people. Aku tak suka gila babi benda tu. Okay, Vegeta aku bagi muka because it's Vegeta. Sideline forever, and then sebab dia training kan. Tapi itu pun sebab Toriyama is old school storyteller. Kau nampak je lah Vegeta training, okay, aku dapat pay off. So macam, babi, kita orang tunggu 23 tahun, 25 tahun baru kau bagi pay off macam ni. So easy, ultra ego. What the fuck? Kau bagi dia ultra ego masa dia dah tak ego. Like, dude, he doesn't care about himself anymore. Dia dah reda. Okay lah, aku second fiddle. Dia dah reda. Sekarang baru aku dapat ultra ego, babi. So, konflik kan? So, dia, I don't think this is plot armor. MHA, dia bukan ni plot armor because let's go back to the Shigaraki battle. You did not feel that anybody on the good side had any hope. Especially masa dia dia melt. Was it melt lah? Dia disintegrate Dia tak nak.
Oh, dia decay.
Dia
guna.
Dia decay. Yeah, that was
Okay.
one. Kau tak rasa kita ada chance? Like macam okay, we are fucked. Okay. Kita belah sekarang. Kalau aku cakap dengan Syah, aku belah luar Syah sebab aku panggil keren.
Sekarang
when I saw that the first time, right?
Go.
I told myself, right, there's no one in DC, Marvel, or in this universe can actually stop Shigaraki now. I mean, decay aura, that's like worse than nuclear fallout, basically.
Tak, Andi, kau bayangkan Kuzan buat Ice Age kan? Tapi ni bukan Ice Age ni decay. Sebab if you get in contact with it, you're gone. This is it. This was it. So bila dia decay macam radius dia 5 km tu, bukan sebab decay dia boleh sampai 5 km, sebab Shigaraki nak sampai 5 km je, lepas tu dia dah lompat. Itu je. So kalau dia dah 10 km, dia akan decay 10 km. There is absolutely no way you can fight with someone who can manipulate any surfaces that you need to stand on for that thing to be decay, and any matter that is getting in contact with that will also decay. Gila kau! So you cannot fight. Gone. Tak boleh menang.
Anyway, kita we're gonna just go into satu je chat. Tapi sebelum chat tu, untuk aku at the moment bukan resurgence, never have appeared in my timeline of whatever before. Frieza sekarang aku selalu tengok dia menembak. Hasta la vida loca, te canta mi música, te buscato. Itu dia kan, dia tembak tu. Tanya Wan Muhammad. Anyway, soalan, I think we've spoke about this before. Overall, apa pendapat panel bila orang cakap MHA S6 ruin sebab Bones tak tukar awan sepatutnya dark tapi Bones buat blue sky. Kalau anda baca manga, memang dia blue sky ada awan lagi. So I don't think it's kalau dia tukar kepada dark, maknanya studio yang tukar. So tengok. Ni is this the correct chapter, the wrong chapter. But anyway, adalah grey skies with clouds implied blue skies. But we've spoken about this just now. So that's the only question we've got for this bit. So now we're going on to the final segment. Yes, soalan nombor 7. Kasih kat kau lah. Pengakuan tell all DABI, well-timed villain propaganda. You have the floor.
Okay, I actually like DABI. I understood what he tried to do at this point. He tried to destroy the hero punya society punya credibility. He told Endeavor is a wife beater, a child abuser, a manipulator, and Hawks is a murderer who killed people
and he's
for
telling the truth.
And he's not bullshitting. He's lying. He's not lying.
Yep.
Even the first part kan, when he pasang kamera kan, the first thing he did right was take this conditioner or what liquid kan, and just get rid of his white hair, becomes black again.
To show his black hair. No, terbalik. To show his hair to become white. Rambut dia kan putih.
One of those two lah.
Toya punya rambut putih. Anyway.
Toya rambut putih. Okay, macam the other rest of siblings. Okay. It was well done. I think he shouldn't be that emotional. I wanted him to become more cool. But this is what was happening in the manga lah, which I think is a mistake lah. DABI seems to be very patient leading up to this point, and then at the end kan he become you see, when this thing happened kan, you started to question kan, DABI kan kata, I have killed 37 people or something to that extent lah kan. But I have never denied my actions on doing so now. Not like Endeavor or the other heroes now. They have done many things, many terrible things, and the government just covered it all up. Hawks has been killing people kan tanpa trial, killing people who hasn't committed a crime yet basically. Macam another person that's going to appear in the second Cour lah, which is actually my favorite female character at the moment. Third lah, favorite. You all know what my favorites are lah.
Why?
Huh? Number one.
I think I know why it went down to nombor 3 because tak apalah.
Okay, but
because
DABI,
you got a sniper gun or something. Anyway, sorry.
I got a sniper gun and it's not on my arm.
Yeah, you better not be on your arm.
Okay.
Apa dia, Cik? Anyway, sorry. Okay.
Okay, you have to understand at this point kan, we see DABI kan, he's almost like a separate villain from the League of Villains tau, dengan Shigaraki tau.
Kan dia macam buat hal sendiri.
He's doing his own shit tau. He's doing his own shit, tapi memang selari dengan Shigaraki lah. Yeah. So I love this dynamic kan between the villains tau. I mean, Toga kan, she is working for the villains, but she only does it thing when she feels like it tau. Spinner is trying to prove himself, and that magician guy, I forget his name. Apa nama dia?
Compress.
Compress. Yang cederakan
apa power dia? Kan? Apa power dia? Aku tak faham sangat. Compress tu. Apa dia buat?
It's like a it's like an item box lah.
Dia macam he can compress a certain amount of space and everything inside the space dia jadi kecil.
Is that why those little blue balls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very powerful if you know how to implement it properly now. So the whole dynamic for the villain kan is excellent. They are doing their own thing, but they are in line with the grand plan lah. It's not like something you see from the yang the Mutant Brotherhood or Lex Luthor punya League of Villains lah. This is a proper well-run machine that is independent from each other, and yet kan they run through the same motions kan when it comes to the general ideas and mission now. So when we see DABI like this, right? I'm like, okay, the heroes are fucked. This is worse than Shigaraki did in the past hour now. Seriously, and it's on TV.
Because he does this now. You know, dah semua orang dah nak lunyai semua kan. They drop this shit on the whole planet, on the whole country, in the whole.
Yeah, and it's on the internet. It's there forever now.
Internet, TV, whatever.
And the timing is perfect now. He is basically
yes, exactly.
This is like a level IQ level 180 punya move tau. GIGANTOMACHIA dah lanyak like what 12 cities. They're banning every township in Japan, and then he post this up on TV and internet. I mean, like if the rakyat tak lose confidence in the government kan, I don't know what will lah.
And the heroes.
Yeah, so basically, if you little spoiler, in Cour 2, that big social bullshit situation that they all in, it's not caused by Shigaraki, it's caused by DABI. They lost confidence in the system. So that's my 2 cents on DABI lah. I think it's pengakuan DABI kan. I think it's the I don't know if it's the nail in the coffin, but it's one of the nails lah. That's been stopped on.
On this topic, actually, aku tak buat soalan pun, tapi about how DABI macam we were just talking about, you were just astutely pointing out how the villains buat hal sendiri, because obviously they all got different motivations or demons or whatever. But one interesting bit that happened during this bit was when Toga just leapt off GIGANTOMACHIA, and then dia nak try, because her yang bermain isu yang bermain di kepala dia kata korang hero nak protect orang kan, so twice tu bukan orang, because ini is kind of also this untuk aku is, I think because I have seen what Toga is like in the later chapters. This could be a turning point for her to becoming something different. Anybody notice this when yang the beat yang dia jadi pretended to be this old lady, and then Uraraka ikut dia, and then she obviously transformed back into Toga. Anybody remember this bit?
I remember this bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So because,
okay.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead. Go.
Okay. At that point kan, when twice dah mati kan, she was at a point kan where she questioned not only her motivation but the motivation for others now. So she just tried to get answers from Uraraka, maybe even Suyu apa dia? Asui. Yeah. Suyu, frog girl lah basically. If you notice properly, right, it doesn't matter what the hero girls I will say to her now. She will not accept the answer because she was in a state of duress yang teramat sangat tau. She doesn't have questions. What she has is a gaping hole inside her, and she just wants to lash out. And this is what happens tau. I mean, she has the likelihood of her raping Uraraka kan is the same of her killing and getting answers from her now. She doesn't know what she's doing at that point now, if you notice. But even though when she was not knowing what she was doing at the time kan, she did it well. She knows how to escape, she knows how to fight, she knows how to deal with people. So it goes to show dia punya competency is very high now. But right now kan, she's mentally unstable, which is actually very scary because if previously kan, when she was happy, she was not mentally stable, but she was actually okay. Now it's different because one of her anchors kan, twice dah hilang.
Yeah, dah gone. Anybody else got anything to add with regards to Toga's situation, or even DABI's dropping
yang DABI ni?
Guys.
There's a few interesting points yang that is not obvious dalam the actual episode ni. First kali kita kena ni tadi kebetulan sembang dengan Jamal juga benda ni. All Might has set the tone of what is the ideal number one for so long, for decades lama. He has set the tone. I'm here, everybody's gonna smile, no need to worry, I will settle your problem. So when they lost All Might as a hero in the final battle antara All Might dengan All for One, they lost a symbol. They lost the symbol of hope. The wall that can never fall finally fell on live TV. Of course, everybody menangis because there's the greatest sacrifice, and it's like, will there be another All Might? What are we going to do without him? So when this dude came up, senyum tak kerti lah mamak ni, asyik muka marah je kan. Kan? Lepas tu api. So this guy was unfairly put into the limelight as number one without earning the number one spot. Dia macam kalau you tengah racing dengan Usain Bolt in Olympics 100 meter, tiba-tiba Usain Bolt jatuh injured. Kata kau dapat number one, macam aku dapat gold medal tapi Usain Bolt kau tak rasa lengkap. And a lot of people akan rasa tapi kau tak kalahkan Usain Bolt. Benda tu melekat tu from the public punya persona, benda tu melekat. So when this massive
number one by default
nationwide issue started to come up, I mean masa tu belum nationwide lagi, this massive disaster and was started to be broadcast and whatnot kan across the whole world, maybe not the whole but the whole Japan lah at least. They needed a scapegoat, or rather they needed someone to blame. Dia blame Mamat ni. Dia bukannya as good as All Might.
Tengok muka dia.
I mean dah lah he doesn't look as good anymore sebab he sacrificed dia punya he doesn't smile as good as All Might. He doesn't have the charisma and the sense of like All Might sampai je kan habis. We have
Donald
nothing
Trump
to worry about. All for one pun boleh kalah. So it is a lose-lose situation for him. And at that point of time, they needed someone to blame. Mamat ni pula drop. Ni bapak aku. And he's been he abused me, blah 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 blah. Sampai aku jadi macam ni. So it is multiple factors which affect onto a nation that was ready to blame somebody without thinking how it will affect him as a person. Kalau dia betul-betul number one, patutnya dia kata makan ni dah habis. Kalau All Might dulu lawan mesti pop habis. Because that is what they're accustomed to. So when Mr. Unrecognized number one ni become number one, he doesn't really build that much confidence. Dah lah PR dia pun tak bagus. And then when disaster struck and they needed someone to blame, memang it's just all the dominoes fall into place lah. So kalau dari segi from a villain punya master plan, this is one of the best master plan. In fact, kalau you nak compare dari segi kalau Shigaraki did not get this godlike power of decay up to multiple kilometers kan, DABI is actually the most dangerous villain dalam League of Villains sebenarnya. Sebab dia punya sense of timing and destroying of society is impeccable lah. Dia memang kepandaian dia tu dicampur dengan hatred over the years.
And not just that, his powers are actually very, 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 very kuat. Kalau tak
that was benda tu memang dia acknowledge oleh Endeavour juga.
Exactly.
Dia in this case aku rasa the parenting skills was a bit wrong lah. He should have let him train, but your powers is growing stronger than me. There is a way to use his power, but we need you to keep it at maybe 20%. Your 20% is enough to match my 80%. So we don't need to go beyond that. So bila kau cakap macam tu, you know, when you tell you can still be a hero, but you don't need to use even 30% of your power. 30% dah cukup. You are already stronger than me. So kau tak adalah break his heart. And he will train, yes, my path is to manage my power at 20%. He's still a hero. Tapi sebab, parenting skill dia tak cukup. And then because he's looking
actually not just that kan. It's not just that. I mean, pasal aku rasa kan the root of the problem is the overall situation. Pasal dia kahwin pun untuk sebab nak breed. Dia ingat benda ni macam kau kan. Lepas tu bila dia ingat gene tu boleh 50-50 terus. Suddenly dapat 90-10, 75-25 in the wrong order. I mean, lepas tu dia marah. Habis tu benda ni bukan dia buat makmal after test tube. Sorry, sambung.
Bro, before you sambungkan, I'm going to put you in context now. The moment dia tahu tengok Toya kan ada problem dengan dia punya fire control kan. You know what he did? He fucked the wife and Shoto keluar.
No, the sister keluar dulu, I think.
Adik dia
lah.
failure.
Tapi and then bila Shoto keluar, perfect. Dia okay, korang dah tak payahlah, korang boleh main bola. Korang boleh main.
That was his reply. Okay, Toya, fuck off. I'm going to fuck your mom. And then anak dia keluar, I'm going to fuck again and again. And then Shoto keluar. Okay, this is his approach to handle this problem.
Tengoklah muka bini dia. Muka bini dia macam, kau kahwin aku untuk ni
Ya. Kesian bini dia bila dia when the wife walks kan, tak boleh kakak luar sangat.
Bak kata my dad pantang baring.
Pantang baring. We get the gist of how Endeavour is right. This is not a parenting.
Karma bites you in the ass. You got anything else to that, Jamal?
Nope. I'm happy. Sama lah. I generally have the same opinions like everyone on this matter.
Okay. Anyway, let's go forward. Question 8 for Shaz. the cavalry arrives, not just best genius, and suddenly we've got Le Million. So at this point in time, pandangan anda tentang pertarungan di waktu ini? At this time, everybody's like half dead, quarter dead, 75% dead. Anyway, go ahead.
Ini cerita PG, bukan cerita
Cavalry lambat ke? Perbincangan kita R15.
Ini bukan komik Punisher, that's why dia orang tak kena cekik mati on the spot by best jenis. Kabel-kabel yang kuat tu tak pierce kepala dia. So that would have been the ultimate scenario, solve all this problem. But what we did get was, aku rasa even we kalau discount the fact that kita tak boleh take the Punisher punya route, that means off bunuh terus, it took him forever to think of mencekik all the karakter-karakter tepi ni, all the side characters, knowing for a fact that these are very strong villains with abilities that you may not be aware of. Tapi GIGANTOMACHIA is kena restrain, he is also restraining them. Nampak tak? Tali-tali ada tu kat tangan tu. Cekik je lah sekali sampai dia orang pingsan. Once dia orang dah pingsan, let them drop, then you can control GIGANTOMACHIA better. So it feels like he was, aku tak sure why he did what he did, but it feels like dia tak efficient lah dalam menggunakan all those cables to fully subdue all these guys and then straight focus on the big problem. The Million ni pula, honestly aku macam like, dari mana lah kau datang tiba-tiba je. I will on the eve of the big battle soon. Okay, minta tolong. I'm back. That's worse than plot armor, man. It's like kau datang ni mana ni, like why?
In a way pun they had to make Eri, I'm convinced Eri that to reverse this is the right thing because she's a kid and you know dia
I appreciate that they allow Eri to help, tapi from nowhere tiba-tiba surprise lah tu backstory. Here is a 1 minute backstory. Oh, I had this thing, therefore I'm here. Surprise again, like it cheapens his return. There is no struggle, which I understand because the nature of Eri punya ni. But you could have had a simple dialogue at some point mengatakan, I heard Le Million Senpai has been meeting up Eri a lot these days. So dia will be like,
bukan that's the ni pun ke dynamic of the relationship between him and Eri sejak dia hilang power dia kan dia macam baik dengan budak tu, dia jadi macam guardian. Because masa kat konsert kan dia dukung Eri tengok konsert
betul. But that was dia punya guardian punya role. But you could have said like
when you say there was no evidence of a struggle, perhaps that was his struggle trying to
what I mean is there was no direction or hints of foreshadowing that he is working towards recovering his power. Suddenly from nowhere, I got my power back. And why? Because of this particular scene. You tak ditunjuk dia discuss dengan Eri your powers dah boleh improve ke, or you tak tunjuk dia discuss dengan cikgu ke, what not. There is no build up to it lah. It's just suddenly out of the blue, tahniah, anda telah berjaya mendapat balik kuasa anda. And that's it.
Yalah. Although I could argue back that there were so many other stories at the moment to be told, the Le Million and Eri punya relationship and the fact that Eri kira boleh di-convince finally that don't worry, jangan risau, we are not like apa nama mamak tu over yang muka burung tu.
Muka burung.
Tu. Alah, anak Yakuza, apa nama dia, overlord, over something.
Chisaki.
Anyway, apa nama?
I think Chisaki nama dia.
Tapi nama villain dia apa lah?
Overhaul.
Overhaul. I was thinking overdraft, anyway. so because she was so traumatized by what Overhaul did to her, and but anyway, that's that lah. I think Unless you got anything else to add, Jamal and Andri, for the cavalry, a bit of the core.
Not much of a cavalry, if you ask me lah.
Yeah, because the bad guys have a cavalry as well. Oh, sorry, it's Jamal actually. Because now, for the final question, Deku unlock sebuah lagi quirk, tapi all for one dan near high level Nomus tip the balance to the villains. Adakah ini set up untuk core kedua, which is dan pandangan Amanda tentang core finale ni? So in general, anyway, the floor is yours.
Overlay.
Oh ya tak ya. Terima kasih. Apa overlay aku? Tu dia. Which is, that's the best one I could find lah. Anyway, go ahead.
Aku rasa if there was anything up to this point dalam kita punya bedah ni yang kita boleh petik plot armor, this would be it lah. Of course, the execution of the scenes and what happens is consistent in the sense that the mangaka knows how to make scenes compelling. Regardless, bila kau remove yourself from the moment di mana diorang bagi angle cantik, diorang bagi dialogue best ke, atau diorang bagi action sequence yang cool, if you remove yourself from that, kau akan nampak lah, okay, mula-mula benda ni jadi, lepas tu benda ni kena jadi, and then benda ni jadi. So bila benda yang nak kena jadi ni, just before it happen, there has to be something, so it just has to happen ni. But, and then when you look at it, bila kau reflect balik, kadang-kadang kau fikir macam Deku tengah struggle when he dove in to defend Eraserhead from Shigaraki, and then eventually during that defending dia rasa macam babi Shigaraki ni, then it became personal. Like as much as kita boleh rasa bagaimana journey tu daripada biasa jadi personal, at that point in time juga kita miss the moment yang macam adakah bila he took it personally to the moment when he opened his body and mind to allow for the new quirks to come out more easily. Faham tak? So benda ni kau hanya terfikir bila kau bedah macam ni lah, atau bila kau reflect, kau terfikir lama-lama. So katakanlah you don't do that reflection, and then kau ambil sekilas pandang, dan senang lah kau dah kata plot armor. Kenapa? Memang plot armor lah. You dove into the battle, kau dah tengah cedera, kau nak selamatkan Eraserhead versus Shigaraki Ultra Instinct plus Ultra Ego plus apa lagi yang kau tambah cakap dalam tu, aku pun tak tahu. You are literally
Sage mode.
Sage mode, thank you Sage mode. Sage mode cool lah, aku suka gila Sage mode sebenarnya. Sage mode, yes, and then yang Sasuke punya, dia buka dia punya dia open, dia unlock dia punya seal tu. You take all that, kau nak lawan Shigaraki macam tu yang bukan kau dah ada 3 quirk tau, yang kau tak ada lagi, kau ada 2 je. Whip tu kau tak practice lagi, baru reveal, and then you jump in. So like on one hand, the way they depicted his heroism made us feel, go Deku, go. Kita pun dah attach kat Deku. Tapi bila kau take a step back, macam gila babi tak logik sekali. Kau yang strategic gila babi bla 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 ni, you would have gone in and say, as you are jumping in, okay everyone, take teacher away, go to this particular angle. Okay, we need to bring him to a certain part of the city. Or faham tak? Deku would do things like that. So tiba-tiba he dove in. So I feel that this was the turning point lah, yang macam okay lah, kalau orang nak kata benda ni the storytelling hilang dia punya momentum atau pacing dia kat sini lah. So katakanlah kau nak gunakan ni sebagai contoh, adakah ini plot armor? I can't blame you. I wouldn't call it plot armor. But if we don't talk about it, we don't think about it, we don't know any better, kita kata benda ni plot armor lah. Sebab apa? Kau tak boleh lawan. There is no conceivable way that you will get out alive. There is no way. Kalau Shigaraki nak, sambil kau tengah lari nak pergi kat Shigaraki tu, Shigaraki tiba-tiba sampai depan kau. Kalau Shigaraki nak, kan? So aku that's what I feel about it lah. And dah lah, macam one thing nice about the first few seasons of MHA is that every time anybody goes into a fight, they will always have a clear plan. Okay, orang jahat ni power dia macam ni, weakness dia, eventually dia discover, okay, weakness dia macam ni. This particular Shigaraki macam ni, weakness Shigaraki kat mana? Kita tak tahu. At least the characters tak tahu. And we feel as if there is no way for us to discover that. It's just too powerful. We are overwhelmed by the immense power. Kita takut. But Deku just jumped in. You know? Bakugo following him is perfectly natural. Sebab Bakugo punya arc di mana dia slowly open up to All Might pilih Deku, to All Might having that moment with All Might, to him realizing, okay, Deku ni aku dah bukan budak yang aku bully dulu, dah bukan budak yang aku sekat-sekat dulu. You know, benda tu nampak cantik. So bila dia follow Deku tu, kita macam, okay lah, bukan kau follow Deku sebab kau yang nak lawan Shigaraki sebelum Deku. Tapi macam, fuck, kalau aku tak pergi, Deku cannot do this alone. Deku cannot be alone. So I need to follow. So benda tu you don't feel it's illogical. But the Deku for me, it feels macam, wow. Like I know got the whip, but wow. Like and then that's it lah. That's what I feel lah. So and then for me apa nama dia? Bukan Vermilion. Lama.
Lemillion.
Itu if kalau kau kata Mal, tolong for this bedah kau kena pilih satu point yang kau benda ni plot nama. Okay, aku tak Lemillion lah plot nama.
Okay, I just have to add observation lah. Okay. Okay, season 6 overall, the first core kan, even the second core kan, it's pretty good actually, regardless of all the ass pulls and plot armor going on lah. But you cannot help but realize kan that this Deku kan, tiba-tiba kan, there's like a great shift in his character now. Before this kan, dia punya fighting style kan, he's more of a strategist now. Now he's like a tank character. Let me go ahead and take damage while we flank him and deliver some sort of killing blow. This is not Deku. He does not even coordinate attack now. Okay, he's just falling through the paces now. This is very unlike Deku in the first core. Maybe second core okay, he turns to the strategist part a bit when he fought a few characters in the second core. But here, right, when it comes to Shigaraki kan, it's like okay, I'm desperate. I have to punch something first before I think. This is unlike his character. Could be a flaw, could be some sort of character growth yang the writer wants to do when it comes to when Deku's being pushed to the wall or something. But you see Deku kan, dia punya character at this point kan, it has started to become a bit inconsistent. It actually affects the whole feel of the whole story now. I mean, the story got darker, which is actually better. But when it comes to macam the main reason why we watch the show, right? It leaves an aftertaste lah. We see Deku kan as the underdog, and now he feels like an underdog, but he doesn't act like an underdog. He's like an overdog, or the alpha bitch, or whatever they call it lah.
Syaz?
Aku ada different view on this.
Okay. Go.
I'm not sure kalau kita nak boleh komen dia consistent atau tidak. But it does show, it reminds us that Deku ni budak.
Yep.
And as a budak, as we explore in the next core, but it started from this core lah. When push comes to shove, you end up blaming yourself sebagai budak. And then dia akan macam, I will sacrifice myself because that's what heroes do. Sebab dia dah pengaruh dengan All Might sejak daripada umur 3 tahun. That is, kalau kita view it from that point of view, is consistent dengan benda dia. I mean dengan dia punya core belief that heroes are self-sacrificing. But this was something that he learned to overcome through practice, through school, through training dengan All Might, interaction dengan kawan-kawan, dengan gaduh semua. That there is more than one way to be a hero. The fact that Uraraka wasn't a combatant and yet managed to earn the respect of Bakugo masa sports punya tu, goes to show that banyak cara kau boleh jadi hero tau. Sometimes you are the rescue hero, sometimes you are the recovery hero, others are the combatant types. Ultimately, there is more than one hero type. So unfortunately, in his panic and dia punya macam nak overwhelming force of Shigaraki ni, dia dah revert balik kepada dia punya natural instinct, hero self-sacrifice. That's why dia nak lari dulu. And the one that at that point of time, dia punya learning hilang, dia punya strategi hilang, dia punya self-awareness of what he can do hilang. He forgot the fact that he is carrying one for all, which the greatest villain all for one wants to capture. Semua benda tu dia lupa. Yang putera aku nak kena stop mama ni. So it's nak kata inconsistent, tak inconsistent, but it became like he lost himself. So kita yang nampak dari luar ni macam consistent ni kan, macam like, kenapa dia macam ni? But I mean after a while when I thought about it, sebenarnya consistent in the sense that he reverted to his first self, where dia membabi buta. Dia cuma melulu je lah. Aku dah tak tahu apa-apa benda, aku dah tak boleh nak fikir. I just do what I think is right. Kan? Just like the first time dia rescue Bakugo daripada slime villain tu, aku dah tak tahu benda. All Might duk jap belakang. Ini dia tak luar. Dia nak, aku nak selamatkan kawan aku. So I think this was the extreme panic and the stress that he was experiencing. So it caused him to react this way lah. And aku tak silap aku, this was when hero started falling and dying. So dia secara tak langsung sebagai the bearer of one for all, terasa terlebih responsible. Ini semua salah aku. When you have that kind of person, that kind of feeling, kena pula dia ni budak tak sampai 18 tahun lagi, dating pun tak pernah, you know, all these kind of things that would harden a person punya heart kan, dia tak pernah experience. So I guess he really broke down lah mentally at this point in time. Dia terus like aku dah tak boleh fikir lah.
Aku rasa it's a very good point. Cuma pada aku this will only make sense if there was something personal. There was something personal if Shigaraki did something that had a personal impact to Deku, which I don't think it was. Benda yang Shigaraki buat adalah benda yang affected everyone, and it because of how great his power and what the destruction that he caused lah. It was not a specific thing, like for example, if he hurt Uraraka ke, if he hurt Bakugo ke, if he specifically went for say All Might for example, then yes, benda yang kau cakap tu semua betul. Dan tapi pada aku benda tu tak ada, because Shigaraki was just being Shigaraki yang at that point in time dia tengah bergelut dengan All for One. So of course he akan ada rasa macam sedikit terlebih responsibility, because yelah dia ada Core One for All. Tapi point dia is that for him to take it that personally, in a way where benda tu flip, needed an inciting incident. An inciting incident tu tak ada, because inciting incident tu was
Bakugo got stabbed 3 penjuru masa Bakugo tolak dia. You don't want
no, at that point in time they were already got involved. That was later. They were already there. So for him to react when he's already there, itu aku tak question. Dah memang kau kat depan Shigaraki. So apa jadi dekat situ, kau akan immediately affected. But the fact is that he decided to go there, but as he was going there, that was when he was developing that, okay, I'm going to take this personally, I'm going to take this personally, I'm going to take this. So I don't feel that. Of course, kita boleh overlook benda ni bila kita tengok, okay, dia tengah pergi, dia tengah rush, kita sense his anxiety ke, his desperation. Lepas tu sampai situ, dia tengah nak figure shit out, and then Shigaraki nampak, Shigaraki went for him, and then Bakugo nak defend dia, Eraserhead semua kena. I get it. So benda ni kita boleh macam, maybe we can play a little loose lah. Kalau kau tak particular sangat, then it's okay. Benda yang Syah cakap tu semua applicable, and I'm cool with that. Tapi for me, personally though, aku rasa macam, because the moment I think about it, aku dah tak boleh, I cannot find something else to sort of like counter it balik. The moment I realise macam, the shift tu, it's it's jarring when you notice it. Now I cannot unnotice it. So sekarang ni aku tengah nak rationalize, and Syaz punya point tu is a very good counter argument for me, but I still feel it's not enough because dia tak ada that. I just need, for example lah, if it was established very clearly that outside of All Might, Deku dengan Eraserhead has a specific connection yang dia tak ada dengan orang lain. Dia tak tunjuk banyak scene, dia dengan Eraserhead tak rapat macam dia rapat dengan All Might, tapi dia dengan Eraserhead ada satu moment ni, and Eraserhead selalu ingatkan dia selalu ingatkan Eraserhead. And when Eraserhead, and then if something happened, Shigaraki did something to Eraserhead, and then Eraserhead just had to say something, say, Deku, go back, remember what I told you. Boom. Kalau ada moment tu, Syaz, everything Syaz said is fine. Because Deku macam, fuck it, you know, kau dah buat semua benda ni, and then it's this dude that helped me at this point. So moment tu tak ada. Then bila, so for me, it's, I mean, I can accept it, but I'm not convinced by it.
I quite like Shaz's argument with the addition of depends on whether or not you guys had watched yesterday's episode.
Yeah.
Tengok salam. Okay. Tapi kita nak cakap ni minggu depan lah, like in the fortnight time lah. Yep. Tapi obviously I'm not trying to say this with that information, tapi you could figure out in the sense that perhaps masa yang apa yang berlaku in the last few bits of Core 1, how Deku, you know, tangan dua-dua, kaki pun dah tak jalan, pakai black whip guna mulut, apa was possibly what Syaz said campur dengan the fruit, apa berputiknya dia punya actions that will happen in Core 2 as I really should know by now lah, Dark Deku, for Deku reasons that we will find out.
I mean, kalau I mean like it benda tu okay because it has to happen and it happens because that's how the mangaka wrote it. But from an experiential standpoint, masa kau baca atau masa kau tengok, if you become particular or critical about it, these are valid points to bring out lah, because by right masa kau tengok that particular moment, you are not watching it, or rather you are not reading it with knowledge of what's going to happen after that kan. So katakanlah you pause and then you just reflect on it, macam asal tiba-tiba Deku, it is not an unnatural reaction. Asal tiba-tiba Deku, it's not unnatural. You then of course rationalize it later, and then you decide lah you nak accept ke tak. Tapi for me that shift was you can see the shift. You can see the shift. So macam I don't know man.
Dia macam dia overreact kan.
Dia, I mean maybe that's not the right word, but yes. Dia macam terlampau. Macam weh, you know?
Dah lah.
Not dah lah. I think for me it's just macam you can either be very scared or you can be so brave because you're so desperate kau nak fikir benda lain dah. But that switch, kesian lah kat Deku kalau dia both, he either or whichever pun dia dah teruk dah.
Kau dia budak kan?
I don't know man.
Wires
I mean like
cross.
As a Syaz punya argument tu aku suka. Cuma I feel that the moment I notice the shift, aku macam but I guess you know, when you are writing something like this, at this point mungkin, you know, things like this just terlepas pun. Banyak semua cerita tak perfect. I mean like you can scrutinize and then you will find dalam even in a great arc tiba-tiba ada that particular scene macam this scene is a bit too shortcut ke. Ada je benda-benda ni. I'm happy to put it as such lah. Tapi Lemillion tu aku personally bila aku tengok Lemillion, that was my immediate reaction.
Mana pula
datang kau ni.
Okay, since we're at the end of the Q question 9 and the segment, just since Jamal mentioned something about mangaka writing things down, so masa chapter ni tengok apa dia kata. Dia kata this isn't limited to just Nana Shimura, but my female characters have been looking more and more ripped. Weird now that's happening. Yeah, with the bunny or our bunny girl Mirko I hope you get well soon. Asal gambar besar ni? Exit full screen.
Okay je.
Tak. Aku punya screen terjadi besar. Okay, there was not much from chat. Macam memaksa jugalah Best Genius ni sebab sepatutnya Best Genius on record mati, but well, that was explained how he didn't die. Just a little trivia. Ini I do not know whether it is or it is not, but sesiapa yang minat pop music zaman-zaman uncle, anybody can guess what do you think the possible reference Horikoshi used to make Best Genius? He's dead now. He's British.
Last time tak ada, man. I'm not old enough.
David Bowie. David Bowie.
I can see now. I can see it now.
And then he used to have a song called Gin Ginny. But anyway, and Lemillion pula, dia punya character is based on, you know, those American 1950s mata hitam punya. There's a lot of American reference lah dalam Horikoshi.
Tintin kan, macam Tintinnya karakter.
Macam tu lah. Satu soalan menyimpang from Joe Latif. Hello Joe. Panelist, ada yang tengok latest episode Attack on Titan? Tolong ulas sikit. Saya tak tengok. Saya tengok season 1 saja.
Saya tak ikut langsung.
I saw it. Yeah.
You saw it? Was it good?
Very, very, very fiery episode, if you ask me.
Then the next episode is what? Bulan 9, is it? Is that the final one, bulan 9? So it was just one episode sejam. Was it?
No. It was an extended episode lah.
So dia bukan minggu-minggu, dia one episode aja and then followed up by
you have to understand, I give up on Attack on Titan because of the whole plot shift tau. I just watch it for the sake of watching it while I'm downloading stuff. Okay. I wouldn't explain what I'm downloading. It's just safe to say that it makes me happy. Okay. So Attack on Titan, they're going to release a few episodes, but they're extended episodes. It's not your regular programming lah, basically.
So anyway, so kita sudah ke penghujung show. So kita akan ke segmen harapan untuk core kedua. Right. So harapan untuk core kedua musim 6 Boku no Hero Academia. Actually aku tak ada harapan pasal aku dah tengok.
Bodoh lah.
Tapi yelah, actually shouldn't have put this question lah, harapan, but I think whatever it was, core 1 sets the scene lah for core 2. Now just a quick trivial kind of thing. Kalau you baca obviously on Shonen Jump Plus digitally, obviously you get to whatever we have now, which is beyond all this. Tapi kalau print ada 2 je sampai 31 dengan 32. Ada tapi so this core has 31, 32 and beyond it. And 33 is coming next Friday. And looking at the cover of 34, this core actually has 3 volumes, if not 3.5 volumes. So compared to the 5 volumes we had for core 1, but then again explained by the fact that it was mostly fight scenes. That would probably explain it lah, because fight scenes, panel besar-besar, tak ada dialogue. So this obviously in core 2 banyak dialog lagi lah, and obviously an introduction to anyway, harapan untuk whatever lah perbincangan kita in 2 weeks time. I mean obviously we've got 2 more episodes left to watch.
I want to see what
juga harapan.
I mean, we've already seen quite a lot of the Dark Deku punya storyline ni. Cuma I want to see the full power lah dari segi the characters they have inherited and passed down the powers dalam One for All ni. Because tak silap aku belum habis tunjuk lagi kan all the powers.
Ada
semua lagi kan Mamat yang tu mengadap dinding tu.
Mengadap dinding tu aku tak ingat nak compare yang yang tu Black Whip, yang tu Gas, yang tu Float, yang nombor 1 tu tak sure. yang tu nombor 4 yang muka
there's one apa yang Spider Sense detection.
Itulah yang nombor 4 Spider Sense was the last quirk that he had before the last episode. Tapi I think you're right, the last two tu whether or not I can't remember was he in anyway, but
tapi apa itu satu. And then kedua
ada apa one of those power that manifest in the second core. So I think there's only one power left apa yang tak muncul lagi.
Oh. Dia yang apa yang Fajin ni. Ya.
Fajin tu buat apa? Tak ingat.
They store kinetic energy in one particular body part and then release. Okay. And then the second harapan is that there is an actual progression lah. That means that the Dark Deku punya character has implications and repercussions in season 7, 8 dan seterusnya lah. Bukannya ini self-contained season, kita dah tunjuk everybody dah happy, dia character group. Next season, hi guys, I'm back, rambut dah bersih, I'm back to normal again,
dah pakai shampoo, dah guna shampoo.
Kan?
Andri,
mandi pun tak. Wow.
Saya punya harapan not that much lah. You know what I'm saying lah. Yeah, I want more waifus. I want more female characters to muncul. More development. Yeah. I want Bakugo to come out. I want more female characters to shake their booty, Maybe my harapan long term for this whole series for Deku, right, is for him to finally get a girlfriend lah. Tak kisah siapa lah. Could be Cammy, could be Momo, tak kisah lah. I'm getting more and more uncomfortable kan hubungan dia dengan Bakugo pakai erat every season or apa. I'm quite worried about him lah.
Dia kata apa tau? Late 30s, that's all you get. Woo.
Late 30s? Okay, mak pukul lah tu.
No. Ni.
Sniper.
Even better.
Bulat rambut. Sorry, we sound like sick words. Anyway, Jamal, apa harapan anda? Ya,
saya tak ada harapan sebab saya pun dah tengok dan saya update. Jadi harapan untuk series bukan untuk next score. Harapan untuk series. Okay, one thing about it is that I did not expect that this was the direction of the series at this point. Okay, why I say that is because around setahun setengah lepas, Arif, panelis Animo Division lagi seorang, dia pernah share panel, the panel of Dark Deku pakai hood, tarik hood, lepas tu full dalam panel tu. I think Kudo, you've read it, Andri, So dia padam semua scanlations. Dia just kata, James, tengok ni, like, and then we were still watching the anime season 4, season 5. So aku macam, shit, babi jauh sial, what the fuck happened? Like, tapi aku cakap aku nak pergi baca manga tapi aku tak baca. So to know that panel is from the current core 2, aku macam, I was impressed lah because I did not expect it to take this turn. So in terms of generally speaking broadly, aku suka the direction. And sebab partly because masa orang masa Arif introduce kat aku and I finished watching the first 2 seasons, aku cakap kat dia at that point in time, which aku dah tarik balik lah, aku dah tukar, aku dah revisit, aku cakap kat dia, MHA ni macam law of Ueki tapi untuk budak-budak tua sikit. So lepas tu dia rasa macam insulted.
Macam apa? Macam law of what?
Law of Wiki.
Law of Ueki.
It is a good show. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good show. Tapi dia memang dia ada cap lah. Dia adalah shonen untuk yang lower ages lah. Sebab dia kat situ je. So aku cakap kat tu. I think because of one thing that I like Law of Wiki for is because its action sequences are very adrenaline pumping tau. Macam kau nak buat show untuk budak-budak je lah. Tapi apa pasal kau punya action sequence so So aku cakap kat dia MHA macam tu. Lepas tu dia macam biar dia rasa insulted. But fast forward to now. Aku macam okay, now aku faham kenapa kau nak sangat aku baca, nak sangat aku follow series ni, and kenapa kau share panel, and we used to have all these regular chats about the series. Because I really like that direction lah, where it is right now, yang kita orang tak boleh cakap sekarang sebab aku ingat tengok kepada mereka yang follow anime je lah. So yeah, not that one. Dia, I think the panel, I think it was on the left page, full panel, Deku macam tengah floating. Tapi it's full, dia dah tarik hood dia. So, aku punya harapan adalah dia stay on that, on this ni. Aku harap there is some kind of redemption for the necessary characters in this series. Don't go too dark, do not end it abruptly. Tolonglah jangan, please. Jangan bagi ending yang macam, okay, memang nak finish, tak nak, jangan, please. So I hope that that's the case. I feel that MHA was great because we never had another degree man, and I feel that
I've not watched it. We kinda, for me, MHA is kind of filled that gap a bit, but not exactly lah. So aku macam okay lah. This is a very good title for a new big three. It was is it still a big three?
Yeah, it's one of the new big threes lah.
New big threes lah. Means post Bleach Naruto punya ending lah, because the other one is still One Piece again. So post Bleach
Naruto, Boruto is not what,
No. Let's
I
not
will
bring
never
up
consider Boruto. I will never
No one is saying that. I like reading Boruto. I don't like watching it. I like reading it. So tetapi I'm very I am aware enough to say that kalau kau kata kau nak suggest Boruto masuk long list or initial list untuk big three pun macam bro, kau duduk dulu. Kau duduk je.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just ask you this question lah. I love Naruto. When I read Boruto or watch Boruto, I feel like everything yang Naruto buat kan has been macam for naught kan because of the whole Boruto punya bullshit tau. Don't you feel like that actually when you read Boruto?
Tak, if I were to read it, aku tak rasa macam tu. Anime aku drop. Because I feel that Boruto punya premise is as best as they could do, given that Kishimoto agreed to continue it. I disagree with the decision to continue it in the form of Boruto. Tapi since dia
Boruto Kishimoto kan? tulis kan?
Tak.
Oh, langsung tulis pun tak?
Bukan dia lukis, tapi dia dalam dia editor dah selaku. Dia dalam the story ideas are all his lah. Tapi execution bukan dia.
Okay.
So ni macam what was the Dragon Ball Z punya follow up yang ada Toriyama punya touch tapi dia bukan dia lukis semua aku ingat. Anyway,
Dragon Ball Super.
GT. No, not Super. Super Toriyama is hands on. I think it was GT.
GT.
So GT. So basically Boruto for me, the premise, since they decided to continue, it was as good as they could have made it. They set the premise je, aku tak kata execution. So because of that, I respect it. The fact that they flip Sarada punya role, kita balikkan Boruto dengan Sasuke, semua tu aku rasa betul. The fact that I love this dude. Siapa nama yang pakai shadow tu? Shikamaru. The fact that Shikamaru embodies his late father who valiantly sacrificed himself. So semua benda tu betul, cantik, aku suka. But I feel that the peak was Naruto. You cannot tell a story bigger than that anymore. Even though the lore is bigger than that story, you cannot tell a story that is bigger than that anymore. Which was the Boruto mistake lah. Sekarang ni Otsutsuki lagi besar. Sebab apa dia? That's it. That's where you lost the people. That's where you lost the people. If it was a simple story of masa Big War yang Madara semua ni, tiba-tiba ada satu village ni dia tak puas hati sebab Hokage ni sisihkan dia, and they were the first village yang kena Akatsuki punya ni, yang kena Madara punya ni. So they had a 10-year plan to balas dendam kat Hokage dekat ni. And Boruto story is about dealing with that terrorist punya attack. That would have been alright, not the best.
Yeah.
But you cannot outtell the Naruto story. I'm sorry. I like Boruto as a reading punya ni, but I don't really Suzuki. So sekarang Boruto macam korang baca lah, dia macam kuat. Dia macam bapak dia pun tak kuat macam tu sebab bapak dia Kurama tu is within the chakra punya system, power level, power system. So and his limitations has always been clear from the get-go. And the Sage mode is not an upgrade. The Sage mode is a side grade to help him manage Kurama. Kalau tidak, dia tak boleh control Kurama. And so benda tu dah betul dah. So I support Boruto because the premise was right, but I'm not going to recommend it to everyone because just stop at Naruto, dah habis. Aku terbaca Boruto and I can stomach it. I can take it. I think it's alright.
You know what's the part yang buat saya betul fuck you Boruto?
20 years ago.
Is when dia lawan dengan suami Kaguya.
You have a point though.
Yeah, I mean like
you have a point.
You're running out of villains. So now you're fighting suami dia. And then what's gonna happen 2 years from now? You're gonna lawan cucu dia yang telah pindah ke kampung baru or something like that. I'm not sure what's going on.
Itulah tu yang aku macam dia, because they feel that they have to tell a story that is bigger than Naruto. Itu kesilapan. Which is why Kishimoto punya follow up title immediately after Naruto failed. This alien whatever. So
I think
just relax je. Like if Naruto is done.
If Shueisha punya ni lah nak cash in on it, betul si Kishimoto.
Maybe lah. And aku rasa Shueisha nak cash in dan aku rasa Kishimoto felt obliged.
Yes, because I don't think kalau Kishimoto nak buat cash in, he would have written it himself.
Betul.
But I think anyone, okay lah, kita we're going to hit the 3-hour mark soon. Just a couple of ni suara menyimpang yang seperti harapan nanti review Suzume boleh. All I can say is insya-Allah jika diizinkan kami dapat tengok dan ada panelis nak sudi berbincang. Ya saya.
Aku izinkan.
Bukan izinkan. Sudi. Izinkan aku punya prerogatif. Okay, disebabkan nanti obviously lah semua orang dah tahu kita dah lama tak buat sesi bedah, and then saya kadang-kadang suka buat macam little short segment sebelum dalam sesi bedah just give an added on value lah to the whole session. Kita nak tengok a couple of things that's related to what we insyaAllah akan bedah di season musim bunga which starts in April. So here's segment kita.
Tak ada arah-arah
aku ini 2023 punya segmen. So will be next season akan sebagai kesinambungan lah dari what we have done as BUZZPOP as well as by this collaboration STOMACHOFCHAOS dengan BUZZPOP. We're going to cover Witch from Mercury bersama saya, bersama Syaz, insyaAllah Tarmizi Ali dan juga our new panelist Myra from the blog The Grey Lines Between, as well as Demon Slayer Season 3. So I'm not sure Jamal, are you up to it? Or I've not asked Arif because bukan, he's more than welcome, tapi dia senyap lah, tak nampak dia sangat dekat.
Dia tengah step sekarang. Semua orang tolong wish Arif good luck.
I know. I saw the stories. How far has he got?
Finals. He just announced. The finals is in 1.5 hours.
So he got
masuk
into it. Dia masuk.
Yeah, dia dengan
Congratulations,
Yudi
Arif.
masuk final.
Okay. Ni our panelist, our co-panelist is poet, so we'll wish him all the best for his final performance, performance in the finals, and as well as hopefully this other manga, anime called Jigokuraku or Hell's Paradise. Satu dari panelist co-panelist kami, Munif Malik, was so into it, tapi pasal Adimo punya division bekerja di hari Ahad, saya tak sure whether or not we'll be able to do this, but hopefully we can. And if Jamal or anybody else is interested, you're more than welcome. So so we'll just have a quick look. We're gonna talk over it to try not get cancelled.
あなたは進める子でしょ?
So season 2.
逃げずに進んだら逃げるように入るんです。私は
a surprising
誰の思いも背負ってないやつが
good
邪魔してんじゃねえ。
僕には何もないと思ってい
anime
た。
actually.
そうじゃなかったんだ。俺は
Ini apa ni?
マーキュリーに進めていない。君からガンダムと
ya.
奪い取る。
私が逃げなくてよくなったのはあんたのおかげなの。今みんなを救えるのはあなたたちだけよ。進める。
So this the recap season 1 lah.
逃げたら一つ進めば二つ。
Ini bukan Gundam favorite Syaz ke?
Yeah. So this is season 2.
Ini Mizi punya favorite.
Lagu dia sedap sial. Yama ni.
Lagu yang aku suka sekarang adalah MHA punya opening theme.
Yang sekarang punya Bokurano.
私とエアリアルがついてますから。
Bokurano by Eve.
父さんを引きずり込むよ。俺の携帯。
Eve is a great
ム
band.
サムサ死ぬのはごめんだよ。
This is what we call Gundam series. Bukan the first part of the first half of the season. We watch.
スレッタは正しいことをした。お母さんはいつ
いやaku
も
nak
私を前に進ませてくれる
Korea.
優しい魔法使いなんです。失う悲しみもない世界。約束したんです。ミオリネさんの誕生日まで私負けません。
Aku nak kurangkan volume sekuat sangat. Sorry, satu hara benda yang korang cakap aku tak dengar. I have to bring the volume down. But itulah, more robots man. Mampus lah nak beli lagi. Kalau nak beli lah. Sial.
Benda tu Jamal.
3 episod. Tengok je lah. This is Jigokuraku. The latest trailer. Mapa rajin kau. Tak tahu lah macam mana kau boleh buat. Tapi looks gempak.
Lepas ni kau kena tunjuk lagi satu aku tu.
Which one?
Kau kena tunjuk lagi satu trailer.
Yalah,
Trailer
which one
2 minit tu. Pluto.
Off.
Oh.
Pasal itu boleh lah. Tapi pasal tu next season punya next apa? Kita tak sure lagi bila dia nak keluar kan?
I think it was
Millennium Parade ni.
last quarter.
Millennium.
Apa?
Last quarter. Last quarter kan? Last quarter of 2023 bukan kan?
Pluto is a manga by Urasawa, Naoki Urasawa.
Yeah, I know.
Tapi
The
Millennium
Netflix.
Tapi Millennium Parade ni lagu dia buat dengan Shina Ringo. And it's a band that's led by King Gnu yang buat lagu untuk Jujutsu Kaisen, Osama Ranking.
Jujutsu Kaisen has great music.
Yeah, actually banyak anime has great music. It's just that there are some anime with the tickle kind of music. Tak ada, because aku dah arrange the video in such a way, so aku macam malas nak macam cari lagi next week. Pluto. And besides, because kita tak sure lagi bila dia nak ni, bila nak keluar. Anyway, so nampaknya kita dah tiba. So look forward for hopefully kami punya session untuk bulan 4 tak jauh pun. Lagi 2 minggu. Demon Slayer 9 hari bulan 4.
Belakang rumah je.
Demon Slayer dengan Witch from Mercury 9 bulan 4. Jigokuraku tak sure. Tapi itu ya the tiga yang worth bedah lah in my opinion. Ada banyak lagi title lain tapi kita orang dah pernah discuss. Andre, we did a quick rundown of 2023 punya. There'll be a korang and watching anything at the moment? At the moment.
Yowamushi pedal.
That's all, isn't it? All ke ada it's still going on. New Zealand. Aku tengok wayang tau. Yowamushi on the plane balik Malaysia tu. Yowamushi pedal. Itu je lah.
Aku basikal tu. Dia kena nyanyi lagu opening theme anime baru dia jadi power, tak ada.
Dia basikal basikal makcik tau.
Basikal itu dulu.
Ya. Ni bahasa apa ni?
Manhwa Zoukang. It is comic weekly in Mandarin. So this was the local equivalent of Jump. So I grew up at primary school and secondary school reading this.
Chinese.
So Mandarin lah sebagai siswa Cina. So masa orang baru nak start baca bola naga, mutiara naga, aku baru je habis baca nampak
bola
last episode of Dragon Ball Z. Naik the awan lepas tu dia belah. So yeah. So I felt that is most fitting. Aku tengok Hajime no Ippo dengan Yowamushi pedal. Sebab aku follow Yowamushi pedal first season, I cannot stop. So ambilkan je.
Kau tengah retro mood kan? Hajime no Ippo boxing.
Hajime no Ippo because I was curious because a lot of people said that it is the best sports manga of all time.
It is.
Okay, there you go. So aku at masa orang cakap tu, aku cakap Slam Dunk is. So now I am watching Hajime no Ippo to check on that lah, sama ada betul ke tidak.
And your verdict?
As of aku sekarang dekat episod 40 berapa entah. I feel that in terms of story, meaning kalau kau tak fokus on an individual, if you just look at the story and the longevity, Hajime no Ippo menang lah, no comments lah. Sebab longevity tu is very difficult to do, and the reason why it's important is because cerita ni follow daripada dia middle school sampai sekarang kan, tak salah aku, sampai sekarang. So meaning dia dah jadi adult. So it's very hard to argue against that. It's very hard to argue against that.
Bukan ada lagi.
Ya, betul. Wow. Yes. So it's very hard to argue against that.
Hold on. Episode 40. Have you watched apa yang story coach dia masa lawan after World War 2 dengan the American guy and
Tura? Tak, itu aku belum tengok yang tu lagi. Aku tengok yang episode, aku baru lepas episode dia bawa diorang pergi training camp dekat atas bukit, jumpa dia punya fellow boxer yang dia banyak lawan lepas World War tu. Yang diorang menang dua, draw satu, tapi masing-masing tak nak acknowledge yang satu draw tu. So this was before Kage masuk ring pakai beruang punya tu sebab dia berjaya tumbuk beruang tu. So this was before that.
Bro, that part apa memang best tau. Dia bantai apa beruang tu kan. Kuala buat Ultraman 7 lah.
Ya bodoh. And then because dia kena cakap dengan beruang, so dia kau team. Okay, ni spoiler Dia kau team, okay kita ambil kulit beruang.
Alright.
Okay, so anyway, lepas tu dia ambil kulit beruang tu, so bila dia masuk ring for his title defense, dia pakai beruang tu punya kulit dengan kepala kat tu, lepas tu dia masuk.
Ya, ni cerita kelakar ke cerita serius?
It is a serious film. It is a serious film. So for me, aku rasa Hajime no Ippo is an 80s manga that goes through sampai sekarang. Slam Dunk is very 90s. So it's become very hard for me to compare. Sebab Slam Dunk is a manga that is set in 4 months punya cerita. 4 bulan je manga tu.
Did you guys watch the film?
Dah, aku dengan Syaz dah tengok dah. 10/10 pergi tengok. Siapa yang fans Slam Dunk, tolong tengok.
In fact, orang cakap kan, tak tengok Slam Dunk pun boleh tengok. So I'm gonna watch it.
Yes. I agree.
Because hari tu aku balik ke Malaysia masa bulan 4 last month, and then because Viz Media dah reprinted quite a lot of the out of stock manga, so anybody kepada penonton di rumah, siapa yang nak collect manga, Slam Dunk volumes 1 until 31 is available. Kalau pergi Kinokuniya tu dia ada one pillar, dia punya ni semua ada. Tapi get ready lah kalau nak beli semua, get ready RM1,500 lah to buy all of them. Their each volume. Because it's not in a box set or whatever, but it's single. You can buy one by one. So also for collectors yang macam dulu tak jumpa volume whatever yang macam selalu tak ada kan. Now you can finish your collections. Aku terfikir juga nak aku baca dekat, tapi it's not on Shonen Jump Plus. Pandai juga dia orang buat macam tu supaya orang tak, macam kalau kau ada terfikir nak beli ke tak. I'm reading Pluto Volume 2 now. That's it's an easy read at the moment, but and very enthralling read. So I'm looking forward to Bedah.
Aku tunggu kau baca The War Robot jadi butler to the pianist, and then I want to ask you. Dah baca dah. Kau nangis tak?
Sedih lah.
Sedih gila weh.
Tak nangis. Tapi aku nangis episod My Hero Academia semalam. Aku macam apa gelak? Oi, emosional. Aku macam
hold on. The episode kan, we love you Deku.
No, not that bit. Lagu dia. Oh, macam tak cakap spoil. Aku
kau minat Makilau aku. Kau minat Makilau
tak pernah tengok.
Gurau je.
Ada
to answer
macam My Hero Academia.
Tak ada. To answer Andre's question, let's just say we focus dalam middle school punya period tu. I feel that Slam Dunk is a much better manga than Hajime no Ippo. Tapi if you take it in its entirety, Slam Dunk tak boleh masuk debate. Tak ada sports manga yang boleh masuk debate.
Okay.
The longevity is too long, and because of that longevity, dia cover a lot of things about the boxing world and the culture daripada zaman dia kecil sampai zaman sekarang yang kau tak boleh lawan. That you cannot fight. So I think it's a moot point. Kalau orang tanya aku soalan tu sekarang, aku akan jawab I cannot answer that. It's not a fair comparison. That you cannot compare. You cannot compare a pizza to say a durian. Tak boleh. It's a completely different dish dah. Dia dah jadi lain. Two different species already. Kau dah tak boleh buat apa. And Hajime no Ippo is just too far ahead because of the longevity tu. Dia boleh cover banyak benda. Interestingly, macam dia bullying dia cover the behavior of boxers and women. Banyak lah. It's very subtle. Tapi macam I was very surprised. In the 80s they were writing manga about macam boxer ada bad habit macam ni, dia punya womanizing ke, dia punya flamboyant punya ni, and then the implications of that. At points aku tengok, especially since scenes yang dia dengan mak dia, Ippo dengan mak dia, aku merasa macam aku tengah tengok K-drama. Padahal benda ni was written in the 80s. I feel like, wow, how do you... It's not world shattering, tapi it's very, very consistent. So that is a key characteristic lah. Tapi jangan complain Ippo kena menang semua benda. Itu kau jangan complain. Itu
no.
Itu plot lama. Itu tak discover.
Right now that's not the story. He has handed to him a lot of times sampai comes frustrating.
Dah. That is right. Sebab masa kat zaman sekolah ni kau tak patut menang Ippo. Kau baru start boxing 3 bulan lepas menang juga. So since you are saying that, I'm looking forward to the time yang okay dah. Memang patut kalah pun, jangan complain. Kau pergi reflect on your performance. Okay, cool. Thank you for that.
To answer Kudo's question, right?
Yes.
I'm watching Danmachi season 4.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very dark now. I love it. The tone is different from season 2 and 3. Is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon? Yeah.
Aku tahu Hestia besar itu aja.
Right now the main character Cranel is trapped in the dungeon with an elf, and she has little to no breast. But the whole story, the whole trauma is very engaging. I mean, basically they're getting fucked in 15 episodes straight now. They're getting fucked by the dungeon.
Okay. I'll buy the dungeon. Aku tengah fikir.
By the dungeon, they throw everything at them. It's unfair.
At the moment, I'm surprised. I don't know how I'm. Ni kau je pasal lah. I don't think you suggested this, Andri, but you don't mention isekai banyak kan this season. I'm
banyak
watching
isekai,
one.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm watching one at the moment. The Yuri one. The one about the princess and the genius, whatever the hell. I can't remember what the title was. I'm watching that one, and I'm watching Onimai, which is Onisan wa Oshimai, which is yang gender bender anime yang this 20. Masa aku bagi the little premise of this in the previous bedah, aku cakap Mamat ni jadi, rupanya Mamat ni 20 tahun sial hikikomori. Adik dia tukar dia jadi budak middle school. Tapi whilst it all sounded very bloody hell, ini masuk jail punya, tapi cerita dia actually is very heartwarming. It's about adik dia nak buat abang dia jadi manusia balik. I mean, you know.
Oh yeah. I know that.
It's little things like macam, for example, an episode hari tu he experienced his first menstrual pain cramp tau, macam it's like little things like that lah, benda macam then he appreciates his sister and then terpaksa lah pergi sekolah because hari tu dia kena tangkap dengan truant officer because dia pergi main game. Lepas tu adik perempuan dia kata ini masalah ni because you cannot go out in the daytime because you are a kid. So dia terpaksa masuk. I'm quite interested to see where this is leading. Whether he's going to be transformed back to his original self, but it's quite funny. Memanglah ada fan service, boing here, boing there, but it's all to do with the older girls lah. That's my anime for this season. Definitely not going to be bedahing.
What are you watching?
Aku tengok finishing up Blue Lock. Tak tahu berapa episod lagi.
Oh yeah. Has it been better?
There's this comedy,
Bagus tak? All the way. Bagus tak?
Dia punya level of quality consistent. Basically, kalau you work the first 2 episode, if you like the concept, you will like the whole show lah.
Okay, cool. Nice one.
So the first episode tu, you macam like, dia orang semua macam like, ni benda. Then by the second episode, they set the tone, what they want to do. Then they have different ways of achieving the goal lah, in a sense.
Kepada penonton di rumah yang kurang arif, Shaz dah gave us a premise based on the first 4 episodes. Anyway, sorry, continue.
And then another one I'm watching is Bofuri. Season.
Oh, I've been saying I wanted to watch that.
Cerita tu, kau jangan tengok for plot, kau jangan tengok for character analysis, kau jangan tengok cerita ni konsisten. No. That's it. Kau lekat benda tu lepas kau, you will like, oh yes, this is the show I want to watch. And like, Tipulan. What happened here? Oh my god, what happened here? Yes, that is the kind of show. Dia basically is a seagull who plays in an MMORPG. Tapi dia punya shenanigans and the amount of things that she collect throughout the series, we like, dia ni lagi. And to the point where everybody on the server pun cakap, dia ni lagi. Serious.
In short, she became the most powerful bitch in the whole game. Most overpowered.
Anyway, just a quick one by a couple of points. Is this a reference to a manga, Kaina of the Great Snow Sea? Anybody?
Tak tahu.
Tak kenal.
Sorry kategori. Tak tahu. Mofa, lama betul ya bedah malam ni. Actually baru nak habis. Anyway, so I think we'll stop this now lah. Kita dah tiba di penghujung sesi bedah celoteh kita malam ini untuk pengakhiran Cour 1 musim ke-6 Boku no Hero Academia. Diharapkan penonton di rumah terhibur dengan ulasan kami malam ini. Berharap penonton di rumah akan kembali in 2 weeks time, 26 bulan Mac pada waktu yang sama pukul 9 malam untuk sesi ulasan Cour kedua musim ke-6 Boku no Hero Academia. So there'll be episod 14 hingga episod 25. So Sabtu depan episod 24, Sabtu 25 bulan will be the final episode, will be 25. So 26 boleh bedah terus. So kepada anda yang baru ke sesi kami, jangan lupa untuk pelanggan, berkongsi dan tenyeh butang like untuk kedua-dua laman YouTube SERAMPANG dan BUZZPOPTV, laman pop subculture suka ramai Malaysia. So terima kasih kerana sudi bersama kami. Kepada rakan panelist saya hari ini, Otsukaris sama Desta, Syaz, Andri and Jamal, dan saya Kudam hari itu Ijo des Mata Tode. Bye guys.
Charlo.